Total One, this is amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vanderkran in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vanderkran in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survived for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride.
ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono. He's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson offline.
Is green, green, green at Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to tell him to do. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns for 2 and 3? They go round the right-hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. De Bono second. Houghton third. Ratcliffe in fourth. No real dramas going into turn 1.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to slip on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because I'll tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't committed, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's see if we get a good run. Dodd's just absolutely competitive. Really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SRW TV, and welcome into the Warner Brown Tools V8 Supercars series for round 2 of season 2 here of 2025 out at Winton Motor Raceway here this evening. I'm your commentator Hamish Munro, bringing you all the action through sight and sound alongside Steve Sinkovic with me here this evening. Steve, I hope you brought your flippers, I hope you brought your boat and your paddle and your oar, whatever it might be, at least an umbrella, because it is absolutely torrential conditions here in the northeast of Victoria, and well, these drivers are going to be going swimming around Winton here this evening.
Mate, you sound like you just had a coffee the way you went through that first section of that. It was like fast forward.
I had 2 Red Bulls today, I will say that. So,
look, I might borrow my wife's new posh people boots, gum boots that look like steel caps, and put them on because out there is nothing but water. And it looks like Olympic Park swimming pool rather than Winton Raceway. It's going to be crazy out there. Rooster tails like the F3s, mate.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have a feeling that we possibly, well, I can guarantee you one thing, Sinker, the grass is going to be loving it. The grass that surrounds this circuit is going to be absolutely loving all this rain at this stage. We're about a third of the way through qualifying at the moment for the Split 2 boys and girls out there as well. It's currently topped by Ron Allen at this stage. His best time here in qualifying in the first sort of 7 minutes of quali sits at the moment at a 136.46. Plenty of time though to be found, but it's tough conditions to find that time out there. And I have a feeling that it's definitely not going to get any drier, I don't think. I think we're probably going to be going wets the whole way. Looking at how slick this circuit is, Sinker, I feel the rain would have had to have stopped prior to the end of practice for us to even even get a hope in hell of the track drying, at least in Split 2. So I predict we're going to be wet all the way, wet tyres all the way, and I think we spoke about it off air prior to the show starting. T1-2, the first chicane on lap 1, I feel about half the cars may end up off the circuit.
It's going to be tough, mate. If the guys aren't prepared and put their smart cap on, it's just going to be carnage everywhere. But generally when guys, when they see this sort of weather, they sort of pull their heads in a little bit and prepare for it. It's going to be tough. There's some really tough braking zones in this, just in the dry, let alone it being wet. And then also, there's going to be slipping and sliding. The rear ends are going to come loose as well because it's really one of those tracks where you slow right down for a corner and you try to power out of it. And some of those corners you're going to try to power out of, you're just going to, if you're not careful, you're just going to lose it.
This is a tough circuit, as you mentioned, in the dry in its own right, Sinker. Hard braking zones, hard passing opportunities around here as well. Look at the run through T1-2. The whole racing line is a puddle down there on board with Ron Allen at the moment. We literally have got a swimming pool at turn 1-2, like where the drivers have to go. They literally...
We get a bumper view, a front bumper view.
Well, we've got on top of the roof, which we can kind of see
There we go. Look at that.
how
Look
bad
how
the puddles
shiny
are. I mean, it's you could look at the ground and see yourself, Sinker.
Was that a trout?
You might as well
jump out.
Might as well throw a line out while we're here. You might catch something. Who knows? But I mean, this is
a bit of trolling at the back.
This is probably the wettest of conditions that we have seen in this car. I mean, I think back to the SFLs at Hungaroring last year, and then as well at Snetterton Park. They were real wet, but this is probably the wettest of conditions that we have seen. This is the worst I've seen it, I think, on in SRW at least, with how torrential these puddles are, and they're in the worst of spots. Like, it is going to be a tiptoe through the racing here this evening, at least for Split 2. We hope for Split 1 it's not this wet. If it is this wet, it will definitely shake things up for us, which we can appreciate as well. But being a sprint race tonight, Sinker, of course, 2 20-minute races. They've got to try and get a lap in, but it's so hard in these conditions to get a lap in. Like that is now the difficult part. But 20 minutes of racing, you know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be tough. But I would not want to be out there. I love Winton, and I would not want to be racing this race, if I'm honest.
You can see, just by looking at the tread marks that are left behind, how much water is expelled, and how quickly those treads disappear. That's how much rain there is. It's sort of like the water is just filling up those crevices created by the tyres straight away. And Bulfer is just said, I hope, wonder who's watching driving the safety car. Well, Sam Kudakazinos is in the safety car tonight. We've got Matty Keane as race steward, and the race director, Mr. Barbs, is out there.
So I've just realised something.
Get a hovercraft out there or something.
Well, I've just realised something, Sinker. Sam can't race in the rain. His computer crashes. So Sam's actually going to have to sit there now with Barbs sharing his screen to look at incidents, and Matt's going to have to drive the safety car because Sam cannot operate.
Limited.
Yeah,
just limited to 10 cars.
Well,
so that
he's going to have to. He literally he course races on the Wednesdays and the SFLs. When it rains, he can't race because he ends up dropping out. Yeah. So it's not due to a skill issue. It's his PC just cannot handle the rain. So
Greg Bubba Sam is not in the safety car.
Yeah, which is what I suspected from Barb's there. And Matt has one leg, so it means that Greg is in the safety car as well as being in the CRS tonight as well. So tough night for Barb's. I hope you've got.
You know what? Got to put it out there to Matty Keane, mate. He has had so much bad luck of late. He got bloody hit by a car in a car park the other day and damaged himself up as well. He's been in all sorts of poor fella, so he's on one leg. So it looks like Greg will have to probably drive the safety car because in Sam Kudakazinos we don't trust at the moment in the wet.
No, he'll probably be leading the field through, and then all of a sudden the safety car will disappear, and the drivers will be like, "Well, what do we do?" All of a sudden, it will turn into a virtual safety car.
What have we got?
3 minutes left.
Hamish.
Yeah.
And Ronald Allen has set the early pace of it by 3 seconds.
He has.
By 3?
Yeah.
By a second.
It's about a second, no, even just under a second actually. It's about 7 tenths. Have also adjusted the color coding as well. After I realised that split 1 should have been gold and silver last week for the top 2 splits. So now split 2 for. AM split, we've got the bronze, and then for the rookies we've got the black. So it was the way I can make it look the cleanest and doesn't stand out too much. So that's fine. So
you know what? Bar 2 seems to be handling the weather pretty well. Daniel Clutterbuck as well.
I
Travis
feel
Nielsen, my boy, has done really well so far as well.
Some of those drivers who may cross over into the 8.6s where they've driven in the rain before may have somewhat of a slight advantage tonight. It's going to come down to who has first protocol, who has history racing in the rain, who's raced in the rain before. Have they raced in the rain in a touring car, so like a GR86 or the supercar? If you know to both those questions, you're going to be in for a tough time. It's going to be a real tough time.
You leave in the pit like I do. A few names that are missing that have been pushed up to the different time slot. Van der Meulen and what was the other chap's name?
No, I've been told that Sean is not racing. So Will Buchanan though is the one that has gone up. There are a couple of new drivers in that split as well. So they'll be joining that split tonight. So we'll see how they go as well.
Yeah. So this grid here at the moment is looking pretty level. I'll tell you one thing, though. Look at number 6, Martin Lipsky. Look, 12 months ago, I wouldn't even put him near the top 20 of this field in the wet. He's improved so much of late. It's ridiculous. He's been going under the radar, and his times are just getting better and better, and his skill level's getting better too. So he's out there trying and doing a cracking job.
He is doing a cracking job. Some drivers in the field yet to set a time in this qualifying session, but I don't really put any blame on them for that, Cinco. I think this is such tough conditions. Just to keep it on the track is hard enough, let alone get a competitive time in. So
you'd almost want to start at the back at the moment.
Yeah, because then at least you got no one coming up behind you.
Yep, and you can just watch as the sea parts in front of you and just work your way through the gaps. My biggest word of advice tonight would be stay safe and stay out of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do. That's all you really can do. Chop saying, I like the rain, hate the track. I like the rain as well, Chop, but I also love Winton, but I wouldn't want to race it in this sort of rain.
Yeah.
Like, this is too heavy for me. This is like, nah, I'd rather not.
Here's one for you. In the movies, when you can see the rain like this, the water isn't actually clear. It's like milk. They put colour in it so that it actually picks up on the screen.
Yeah, normally, I think they put like blue dye almost in it when it's raining, so you can see it better or something.
Yep. It's actually a white dye to pick up the white and the colour. So it's there you go. There's something new for you for the viewers out there.
Cowie's also taken blame for this. He's saying, I think I made it a bit too wet. Agreed.
That's all right, Cowie.
It's
racing.
It's racing. It's what happens.
There's no different to what would be out there anytime during winter in
Pav,
Winton.
Pav does make a good point, though. If this was a real-life race, it would be red flagged for too much standing water. But the starting grid, though, will be as follows. Ron Allen will start front row alongside Daniel Clutterbuck with Dan Bartish and Travis Nielsen on the second row. Matt Fu, Martin Lipsky for your top 6. Michael Quash, Kurt Nommensen the top 8. Brad Wall, Russell Uren will then make up the top 10. Marty Hughes and Craig Healy for your top 12 here this evening, with Scott Weston, Di Feldman, Jeff Arnold the top 15, Brett Taylor, Rob Baxter, Brad Mays, Tommy DeWitt and Chris Tomlin for your top 20, with Greg Johnston, Greg Leake, the two-team Greg cars starting alongside each other. Adrian Mills joined the wrong server in practice, so he's not classified in split 2. John Trott will then start in behind them. We didn't want to go to class, we wanted to go to overall. What are you doing? And then in behind them we had Alan Mazzaroli, Wayne Edwards, Brennan Sopar, and John Van Ree at the back of the field as well. But I think Sinker, we would normally make a prediction for safety cars. I feel like it's I feel like
I'm holding my mic in one hand and I've got enough fingers on the other hand.
I feel like it has to be an over-under scenario tonight for safety cars, if I'm honest, as Ron Allen put the M1 racing car on pole here this evening. Lights up, though, for the drivers at Winton Motorsport Park in the torrential rain. How much chaos do we get as the scramble towards turn 1 begins? They're tentative off the line as Clutters and Bartish have gotten away well. Watch 1-2, though, for a bit of carnage as they rocket through for the first time. Look at the spray and the multitude of cars going off track. And as goes round Bartish at turn 1. And drivers trying to take evasive action already, but, I mean, we predicted it, didn't we, Sinko? We predicted it to happen, and it came to life as Clutters has taken the lead.
Oh, it doesn't take much. I see the boys just touch again. It looks like Mazzaroli Senior just had a bit of a touch with one of the boys in the middle of the pack as well at the back. But everyone seems to be going cautiously through. A couple of silly people trying to go 3 wide through the second corner, but not the smartest of things. But everyone is slowly filtering down now to one line. So the snake has got on the track and they will just work their way through when someone makes a mistake. Look at Bartush recovering there on your screen.
Yeah, he's just starting to recover now from that spin and gets past Wayne Edwards. He stayed ahead of Johnston and Arnold as well. A multitude of cars up the road, though, still trying to battle their way through. He's got Van Ree ahead of him. So now the comeback begins for Dan Bartish, but it's going to be a snake scenario round the gum tree and down towards what is the new part of the circuit that makes it the national circuit, of course, as they turn out left towards the back straight instead of cutting back in to head up towards the club circuit. Clutterbuck leads, though, at the moment. Ron Allen P2, Nommensen, Fu, Nielsen, the top 5. Nielsen leads the way for the rookie class at this stage as Leakey's gone off the road just before the braking zone at the end of the middle sector.
And here comes his teammate.
And he's actually just towed back to pit, so I think he might have called it for himself there, unfortunately. So Leakey is, well, that's not going to look good for Leakey, as Tomlin and Trott have come together before the final corner as well. So there have been some moments already throughout this race as the leaders run up towards the old start-finish line. Let's have a quick look at some of these moments that happened on lap 1. That have really started to sort of materialise into what we may be looking at for the rest of this race. It has been cleaner than what I necessarily predicted it would, or what I thought it might have been, Sinker. They've been relatively cool, calm, and collected. But this was Bartish at turn 1 too. So outside, tried to make it 3 wide at 1. I don't know why you're trying to do that, Dan. And realistically, Ron Allen has nowhere to go. He has to cross the chicane just to kind of avoid, and contacts made, and then further around, as we saw Leakey head off circuit. I don't know if he was turned or not, but he ends up off the road.
Cooked. Arnold's cooked. He's calling for a tow.
Okay, so we'll see what's happened with Arnold. So Leakey came. Oh, that was big contact with Leakey and John Van Ree down there.
Okay. Ron Allen's sim crashed, so it forced him to tow. Oh, another bit of love there. The boys just got to be careful of their noses when they come through these lines. Slightest touch, not like on a normal night, slightest touch will rotate the car in front of you big time.
It will indeed. Clutters leads them round though to start lap 3 of this race. So we're going to be significantly down on the lap count tonight because of the wet weather. Of course, slower lap times mean we don't get through as many laps in the allotted times. As someone else just gone off track. That's Wayne Edwards on the back end of the circuit.
And Wayne Edwards.
Yeah, and Di Feldman. So they're struggling at this point of the race with these sorts of conditions as well.
Have a look at the front end of Ronald Allen's car as he's coming out of the chicane when he's coming out behind Quashi. The front end is just nibbling and just squirming a little bit here and there. He's trying to get the foot down nice and early. He just needs to try to get smooth. Smooth is the key word today. Smooth. Here he goes. He's going drifting down that corner. Just trying a bit too hard to catch him.
Yeah, he's giving up a heap of time to Clutters at this stage. And I think, you know, this is now going to be a real race of attrition for us, Sinker. I think drivers are just going to have to run, you know, cool, calm, keep themselves nice and consistent, and not try to push too hard, because these conditions are going to be hard enough to, you know, to really race with. And I think if you can control your own race and just keep your head down and focus on what you're doing, the driver ahead of you could very easily make a mistake. It's only going to take a minor mistake that will then lead to shock horror for the driver ahead of you. So if you can just keep yourself calm, keep yourself with a good gap in behind and ahead, well, you could still come up trumps at the end, as Travis Nielsen has ended up off the road down at the entry towards the national circuit. They are just on struggle street tonight, Sinker. Real struggle street.
Yeah. He was up the porty end too earlier on. I think he was sitting in about 5th place. Was that Travis?
Yeah, Travis still sitting there. He's not moving. He's trying to rejoin.
Oh, he's trying to get
Jeff
a
Arnold's
good
been
run
out there too.
Yeah, someone else is out there on the left.
Yeah, it's Jeff Arnold. There he is there trying to rejoin. They've called NFA at turn 1. I'm not overly surprised. Both cars definitely could have had a part to play in that one.
100%.
You know, Ron could have backed out of it. Dan probably didn't leave him enough room as well. So there's, you know, they weren't really racing to the conditions. Lap 1, turn 1. You know, probably just going for it a little bit too hard to start the race. But for Bartish, he's now going to try and fight his way through the field. He's still tucked up behind Marty Hughes and John Van Ree. He's trying to find a way around them. If he can make it to P10 on the road, well, then he'll find himself slotted into P1 for the grid slots of race 2. So he can definitely...
He's actually made it work.
He's trying to...
Race,
but he's going to get...
racecraft coming from Dan Bartouche.
I know, but the problem is now he's having to go door to door with Hughes just to stay on the road.
Oh, he's giving him a bit of a push too.
Oh, Jake, I am covered in plastic right now, trying to keep out of this rain. I don't know about Sinker, but Poncho has been
I've got a full body condom on, mate. You got to, when you wear glasses as well, you got to make sure you got a cap on so your the rain doesn't wet your glasses. Otherwise, you need windscreen wipers for them. So I'm fully decked out, mate. Earmuffs on, gloves on. Bloody cold out here in Winton tonight.
Oh, you know what? With this sort of rain, I would not be surprised if it was like 4 degrees. It would be...
Oh, you'd be freezing your nuts off out there. Winton gets cold, man.
Oh, yeah, and that's
a very cold part of Victoria.
Oh, and they race around about maybe July or August when it's normally on the calendar for the Supercars. So you often will get a wet race or a wet weekend at Winton during that period when they're racing there. So It always kind of adds a bit of an X factor to the circuit.
Lipke and Healy have swapped places.
Oh,
they've got a battle there for the three of them there. Healy, Wall, and Lipsky are fighting for the rookie title at the moment, and they're having a great little ding dong down there. And followed by Brett Taylor, our Tasmanian visa into Geelong.
Yeah, the export to Geelong, the import of Victoria for Brett Taylor. Currently, most positions gained in this race is with John Van Ree at this point. He started further back, did not get a qualifying lap in. Corrected it is 12 positions because of the 5 drivers who didn't start, which were the 3 race controllers and the 2 drivers from Split 1 who joined the wrong server. But yeah, I mean, that's no slouch of an effort. 12 spots gained is ridiculous at this point, but he's keeping it neat and tidy, and he's doing everything he needs to do. But a top 15 position at the moment for John would go up trumps for him as well. He's got his teammate Tommy DeWitt just up the road from him. We'll see if they start working together at some point across the 2 races here tonight. Still 11 and a half minutes left to run in race number 1 here this evening. Of course, 4 races coming your way across the 2 sprint rounds for Split 1 and Split 2 here this evening. So 2 races for each split of 20 minutes apiece. So there's plenty of racing action to come at Winton. We may have to get a call out to see what the weather's like for Split 1. You know, if we think about it, Sinker, Split 2 races on Saturday, Split 1 races on Sunday. And hopefully the weather is dried up for the next split.
Yeah, we'll see what the boys are doing if it is wet already. I've got the second camera on Mr. Fu Manju.
Mr. Matt Fu.
Matty Fu. He's cruising along into 4th place. So having a great run. Russell Uren behind him. But there's still a battle pack. The only battle pack left at the moment is Brett Taylor, Brad Mays. At the moment, the one we had with Healy, Wall and Lipsky has all panned out and opened up a little bit. I think the boys have realised they've got halfway through the set, and let's maximise position at the moment.
We see as well further back, Alan Mazzaroli under pressure from Chris Tomlin with Di Feldman and Travis Nielsen following him at this stage. You can listen to the wheel spin off of him just putting that foot down through there, and the thing just does not want to grip up at this point of the race. Alan's definitely come a long way from round 1, season 1, where he unfortunately made collision with the safety car. And he's been improving week in and week out from that moment, and has now become a genuine top 15 challenger every single round. So we'll see if he can make his way back up there tonight. He is up 6 spots, couldn't get a qualifying lap in, but he is on the road to success, but drifting it round up towards the 3rd sector of the circuit. You're going to burn those rear tyres out fairly quickly.
Let's see a beautiful rear livery of Kurt. What's he got on there, mate?
The RER livery, Revolution E-Racing of Kurt Nommensen, that ARTT car. So he's just up ahead of Matt Fu at the moment, solidly on the podium at this stage. His teammate, well, he's lost him out of his own split. He's been promoted up to Split 1 starting tonight. So you guys will see Will Buchanan in Split 1 of the Warren Brown Toolsbert Supercars series. He did it. Absolute cracker.
Him and Van Ray both had an absolute cracker. They were like 2+ seconds faster than the rest of the grid. So they deserve to be promoted, and they'll do very well as well. So Michael Quashi's putting a bit of pressure on Russell Uren. He is not too far off the back of him. We've got Bradley Mays pushing on Lipsky, and DeWitt chasing down Rob Baxter, the brother of the very well-known RC, Peter Baxter.
Yep, he is indeed. Of course, Peter racing in Split 1 later tonight as well. Russell Uren, who you mentioned, just trying to hold on to this top 5 spot. He wants some consistent finishes this season. He's definitely got something in his locker. It's whether he can find the key to unlock the door to whatever it is he can find to get some pace and build himself up in the supercar as well. So we'll see what he can do and what he can pull out here this evening. If he finishes where he is, he'll start the race in P6, only one position behind where he is.
Off track together.
Oh, they are off track together down there at the end of the back straight. So have they made contact? Is it Brad Wall and Brad Mays who's done it?
No, it was Lipsky and Mays.
It was too. So Wall goes off. And then what's happened?
Just out of pure caution.
Oh, okay.
Hit the other one. Looks like Maisie might have hit Lipsky from the rear by the look of it.
Yeah. Let's have a look up from our. Although they probably wouldn't be allowed to fly today, but let's have a look up from our chopper cam just to have a quick gander. How this has happened? Oh, Maisie's completely missed his braking marker. He's just drilled him. Get him a DeWalt livery. He has just drilled the back of that car.
He said, "Hello, Carla. Can I slap that ass of yours on the way through?" Jesus.
I hope
really took him out. No wonder Brad Wall went out in the dirt a little bit. He probably had a code brown. Oh, look at the fishtail in the back there. Who was that? Was that Fieldman? I think it was Dye.
Yeah, it might have been Dye or Alan. Alan was getting some wheel spin through that section earlier, and he has been riding the rears of that car.
So, just those of you who don't know, Dye's having a cracking effort in these V8 cars, but she is an absolute wizard on the dirt. She drives those trucks we drove last season in the Legends Series. Oh man, she drew the pants off that. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, she's of course, Barbara's over the radio. There's a drive-through penalty for car 235, Brad Mays, which we're not that surprised at.
That was for drilling on track.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I don't think Martin Lipsky woke up today feeling like a set of screws, but he definitely got drilled.
Yeah, definitely. Like a self-tapper. Bartucci's on the back of Baxter now. He's down on 0.25. He's putting a lot of pressure at the moment. And it looks like he is slowly working his way back up. Where is he? He's 10 places down, but
he's P13.
Only a couple of spots on the reverse top 10.
Yeah.
So I think that's his target. And he's got 5 minutes. 5 minutes to do it.
Yeah, 5 minutes, but he's got to make up a heap of time to get up to not only Tommy DeWitt, but then up to Brett Taylor. So it's going to have to be magic to be done by Dan Bartish. Baxter's somehow managed to keep it ahead of him at this stage, so he's holding up Bartish now. I don't know if Dan can get to the top 10 sinker. I think 5.5 minutes, man. That's a long time. He's going to need someone. He's going to need someone to make a mistake, I think.
He's got the pace, but it's just to do it clean around here. You literally need the other driver to make a bit of an error, and you have the pace to go around him. But he's got a bit of pressure from behind him now as well. So you got Van Ree behind him saying hello. It's not all just about you, mate. I'm coming through as well. Driving these things here last night when the dry was bad enough. I hate driving the 747, doing donuts along the main straight. Well, I don't think we'll see a car flip it after the chicane from pace. Maybe from impact. That would be about it.
Yeah, that might only happen if someone decides to straight line the chicane, I would say. So probably.
Well, it looks
probably
like Kwashi's caught up to Urine and Fu. Now we've got a three-way battle there for 4th place. And they're not far off Kurt Normanson. So Kurt needs to really focus for these last 3 minutes. More than 3 minutes. What is it? Yeah, 4.5 minutes.
So I would say as well, even though Clutters and Allen are 18 seconds up the road from Kurt, we can definitely say that the weather is a factor in that.
Oh, when did Allen pass Clutters? Did Clutters go off?
Oh, he must have. Let's have a look. Hang on. No. My cat's intrigued as well. He wants to know how that's happened. All right, I'll do some investigating to find the moment it happened.
Who was that? That just went off. Travis Nielsen's having a bit of a shocker tonight. He's
a bit of an ordinary one.
Off track at the moment as well for some reason. Don't know why. But I'm going to take my camera to. Where am I going to take it to? Oh, I've got it on Matty Fu already, the bottom one. But I'm going to go back one to Kwashi.
So it appears that Clutters locked it up at the end of the back straight, ran it off the road, and then Mr. Ron Allen had already gone past at that point. So let's get a better angle of that, actually, because I reckon he may have done it mid-corner. Let's have a look here how this has happened for Ron. So
it takes one mistake.
Yep, so he was following Clutters. So Clutters goes off, and then through comes... and through comes Ron. So takes the lead of the race.
Yeah. And he had a nice lead there as well. So he's pretty much lost about 4 or 5 seconds then.
Yeah, he's no, he's about I think total probably about 4 seconds. He probably had roughly a 2-second lead at the time, and then he was about 2.5 seconds back. So,
but the team principal for M1 will be very happy to see Mr. Allen leading it up the front there. Bartush still coming to go. He's 5/10 off the back of Baxter. Baxter's doing really well to keep him back there.
I think Baxter's
He's just sitting in the
best
middle of the
he can
track and making himself as wide as possible, and doing all the right things at the moment, and driving safe too.
I think Baxter's probably the best that Bartush can get tonight now in race 1. Definitely not enough time for him to get up to DeWitt. I mean, he's 5.2 seconds.
The front row, Brett Taylor and Brad Wall. I'm tipping there's going to be a lot of brown water on the starting grid, mate. That front row is going to have, it's going to be pulsating. They're going to be feeling it big time. Oh, Trav, what happened?
He had a slight rear end slip. Oh, Rob Baxter's off the road as well. So was there contact with Dan Bartush?
Oh, look how much time that loses you. He was way up the field. Bartush has dropped.
Oh, he's done it on his own. Well. He caught the puddle, the same spot that Nielsen did, and Bartush just drove straight past him. But Bartush has also been off the track as well.
Yeah. Bartush did something too. Looks like he's missed the braking point and spun around and got all excited.
So he's got all excited, and then he's ended up off the road.
Yep.
Wow, how it can flip on its head oh so quickly. But what a race now that means for John Van Ree. He's now at 15 positions into P12 on the road. He'll start on that 6th road next to his teammate Tommy DeWitt as long as he makes the checkered flag where he is. There are drivers going off. 1 minute left. It's going to be one more lap for Ron Allen. He's got Daniel Clutterbuck trying to chase him down at this stage in the M1 racing car as he comes around the final corner, or final couple of corners, to get the white flag from Barney. I hope Barney's got the poncho on, honestly. I'd hate to be out there with nothing on protective.
He's probably not even out there, mate. He's been very slack of late. I reckon
he's out there.
The new FIA president has put a lot of people off their jobs.
I reckon those officials now who wave the flags will be campaigning to get those electronic flag boards out there. You know, the little lights they have in F1 where it shows the colour of the flag, just to save them getting wet. Yeah. Like, they don't want to be standing around in the rain all day.
Well, they could have those traffic waving flags. In Singapore, they've got this cardboard cutout of a human, and the arm is automatically just waves up and down with a flag in its hand.
Well, that was designed in Australia by an Australian who wanted to stop. It was for a lot of people who were standing out in the. Are they cursing me yet, Hamish? I don't know. They're having fun, mate. They're having fun. They're having fun.
Even Barney, I just saw Barney waving the flag.
He's waving the flag.
Mr. Allen's going to take out the first heat, and it looks like in my bottom screen, Mr. Quash is having a good run at Russell Uren.
Yeah, Quash, he's trying to put the pressure on Uren for that top 5 position. They're doing really well. Honestly, I'm watching practice. I thought, they might be struggling. There's a lot of standing water, but they've done very well. I'm very impressed.
I think we've had one drive-through, so it's been pretty good. The incidents that have happened have been, racing incidents. It's
and there's
very simple stuff.
A couple of cars running off track,
even the drive-through,
which is expected.
Even the drive-through, that was more or less just a driver missing his brake marker, which you can't afford to do in this track.
No,
because
that's right.
Will just
Ron Allen takes the win. Clutter's P2. Nommensen on the podium. But Michael Quash has gone off the road at the end of the race and loses out in that top 5 position. So what happened with him and Uren? They're coming past Greg Johnston. Has he just locked it up? He's locked it up massively and then had to fleet spin it.
You know what? Let's put him on the second row of the grid. So not a bad starting place at all. For the few points you've lost, it gives him a few better positions for the rest of the race. So not a bad strategy. There you go. Waving flag. Ronald Allen first place. Daniel Clutterbuck second. Kurt Nommensen third. In the rookies, Craig Healy, Brad Wall. And looks like John Van Ree is going to come across slowly on his own.
No, not on his own. He's got a John had a big old battle pack in behind him.
Yeah, he does. It's a corking old bottle.
And it's still going, actually.
Goon bag.
He's about to... Hang on, I was actually... That was confirmed for me the other day. Let me just quickly ask the person...
Well done, lads. That is a cracker of a run.
It's a tap. It's a tap or a spigot on a goon bag, Sinker.
A spigot.
Yeah.
You actually looked it up after Sunday night, did you?
No, my partner told me she was watching, and she's like, "Oh, by the way, it's a tap or a spigot on a goon bag." I'm like, "All right, cheers, thanks for that."
I love her work.
Yeah.
She's going to become a broadcast assistant.
Oh, maybe, yeah. She already brings me drinks, which is good. So race 1 in the books, race 2 to come your way very shortly as well for these drivers in the wets. If you're new with us here, or you've been here for a while and you haven't done so already, be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe and the bell icon as well. We're only 50 odd subscribers away from 1,500. We'd love to get there by the end of season 2. It's free, and you know,
For Christ's sake, it's 54. Come on, people.
Yeah.
Doesn't even cost you money. Stop being tight asses.
As Sinker says, I was about to say, don't feel obliged to, but we would really appreciate it if you did.
No.
You'd help support us.
If you're not watching, if you're not subscribed, hit the dirt. No, we love you all. We love you having everyone out there for a bit of a chin wag and a laugh. I think even some of the viewers tonight are getting soggy from the wet rain out there. Ray Douglas got to learn from the go-kart days. Wet used to wear ponchos. Just like Barney. Mate, can you imagine that, wearing a poncho in the go-kart? It'd be just waving behind you like a flag.
Yeah, the rain would probably stop it, though, from catching fire if it got caught on the little engine of the go-kart at least. So,
Yeah.
you know you're not going to catch fire unless it's an oil fire.
No.
But
Well, the old days in the go-karts, you used to also have to put your hand down over the air filter at certain corners just to get the engine doing the right things and stuff. So, would have been a lot of fun. Dennis went out there, going to be exciting in the race. It's going to be spectacular. Some of the boys are actually going back out there for another run. Suspension out on this track at the most of times, I'd say you'd be running a fairly soft suspension, so you can bounce and not have to worry too much about sliding out with a stiff suspension. Mr. Barbs is out there. Mr. Barbs, Mr. Greg Barbs, he's out there testing out the safety car, the cool, sexy looking Mercedes.
our own Burt Meidler in SRW,
Yes.
Mr. Greg Barber.
Yes.
So.
What a legend.
Absolute legend is
Yeah.
Mr. Barbs.
It's funny how sometimes the drivers are going, crikey, what's on with him? Why is he going so fast? And other times, most of the times, it's like, oh, can he go any faster? But some tracks, he really rips it up. Probably goes too fast.
He's just putting a show on for the fans out there to at least see the safety car. So we don't always get it out on track, but if there's a warm-up session, they're normally doing some practice laps just to see what the conditions are like. If it's a new circuit that they haven't driven before, it's also an opportunity for them to learn it. But this would definitely be for Barbs to find out exactly how wet it is, because...
Look, mate, it's that wet. I think I saw someone out there making an arc, and I saw some wild animals going in 2x2. That's how wet it is at the moment.
I saw seaweed growing on the circuit down at turn 4. That's how wet it is. Like, it is deep. It is deep and torrential. Like I honestly, if this circuit was in the NT, you'd have to throw a rock in the middle of the track just to see if a croc was hanging out there. Like, it's ridiculous.
Mate, it's that wet out there. You got to watch out for poisonous octopus.
Yeah, the blue ring.
The blue ring.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that thing they have up in Queensland when those what is it? It's like a jellyfish with the long tentacles that stings you. What are they called again?
Oh, well, it's a jellyfish.
It is a jellyfish.
Yeah, it is a jellyfish. Yeah.
It's got its own little name. But anyway, yeah, if you get these things out there, I don't think any of these drivers will be obliged to wee on you to get rid of the pain.
It's actually a wives' tale as well, Sinko. Doesn't
Yes,
do
it
anything.
Is. No.
Best-
Vinegar, they reckon? Vinegar?
Best thing for you in that scenario is a green pen. That is the best thing for you if you get stung by a jellyfish.
The best thing for you is don't even go in the bloody water.
Well, yeah, if you see them on the beach, don't walk out in the water because you know they're out there. So Barb's has put it out in the grass, but we won't hang too much on him. It is wet. It's not as bad as Tyson just crossing the chicane at Imola in the dry.
Saying
So.
that Angus Lawford kayaked his way to the track today.
I wonder if anyone's been quick enough for Split 1 to make up a boat-inspired livery out there. I mean, these are your conditions, Sinker. We are literally in Titanic conditions right now.
Mate, you see the way I drift that track. That literally drifted around every single corner of this string until someone said to me, "Oh no, it's a slower way around." But I said, "Yeah, but it was so much fun, just drifting that beast everywhere."
Sorry, I didn't see it, Sinker. I was too busy winning the race.
There's a puddle there. There sure is. Make sure, police, as far as occupational health and safety, Greg Barber, when you're in a safety car, please wear a life preserver.
Oh, we're gonna have to have one of those pre cruise meetings that they have on cruise ships, just so everyone knows the safety features of it.
Put a beacon on the safety car so we can find it in case.
All the drivers' cars tonight have been fitted with a safety whistle if they end up overboard as well. So
watch it. A quick safety advertisement for all the drivers: when you're going around a tree, be careful. There's a strong undertow around the back of the track.
Hey, Rushy said it right there.
Have your iPhone watch on in case we can find you.
Rushy said it right, Sinker. Drifting, Sinker, you mean spinning. So
yeah. Actually, no. I was actually drifting that race. It was actually spectacular. I was doing really well till young Pricey decided to take me out. And then he said, "What are you talking about? I just passed you." Then after the race, he goes, "Yeah, I did. I screwed you."
Yeah, nah, that $10 that $10 to Pricey was worth it. I'll be honest with you, but
yeah, it sure was.
Front row will be as follows: the reverse top 10 with continuous grid of the last race. So Brett Taylor will start pole alongside Brad Wall in the front row. Craig Healy and Michael Quash then start second row with Scott Weston, Russell Uren for your top 6. Matt Fu, Kurt Nommensen, Daniel Clutterbuck, and Ron Allen will then make up the reverse top 10. The rest of the cars will start how they finished race number 1 with Tommy DeWitt and John Van Ree making it all WKMP Sim Sports 6th row with Marty Hughes and Di Feldman in behind them. Martin Lipsky, Dan Bartish, he's got work to do to come back from that lap 1, turn 1 incident in race number 1. He's got to try and come back through the field to get some solid points on the board. They'll start ahead of Rob Baxter and Brad Mays with Alan Mazzaroli and Chris Tomlin lining up for the top 20. Greg Johnston, Travis Nielsen, Jeff Arnold, as well with John Trott back there, and then Wayne Edwards makes up the last slot on the grid. Leakey is not racing in this race. Sopar never started race number 1, and then Mills and Crosby, as I said, joined the wrong server here this evening. But drivers are preparing. They're getting themselves slotted in. It's 30 seconds until lights go out. And for the first time this season, the EWT entry of Brett Taylor, the People's Champion, starts on the front row of the grid. On P1, mind you, not just the front row, in P1. This might even be Brett's first pole position. My memory does not serve me correctly if it is or not.
I don't know. He may have started a reverse grid on the front there. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. I'd be lying, but the lights are going. Take a big deep breath, Hamish.
Lights up, and the scramble begins once again. As we run towards turn 1, it's a horrid start from Healy in the background. His teammate Weston has already gone past, massively bogged it in the wet conditions. Wall and Taylor want to go too wide through 1 and 2. They've got to be cautious here. It's Wall, it's Taylor, it's Wall on the exit, who takes the lead from Brett Taylor, who seems to maybe just be taking a little bit easy off this race start, which it's probably the good plan with Quashi under pressure from Weston in behind. This is the best opportunity I think that EWT has ever had for a podium lockout as Foo's off the road and has to find a way back onto the wet tarmac as well. But Wall leads to Taylor, to Quash, to Weston and Uren for the top 5. Clutters, Healy, Nommensen, Allen, Bartish up into the 10. Already up 6 positions by turn 5-6.
I tell you what a great move there by Quashi just there, and Scotty Weston as well just made a killer move too. They's boys, they've got their elbows out. And
Uren gets caught on the outside right, and Taylor's off the road.
He straightened him up and then give him a hand and straightened him up, and then he rotated him. Brett Taylor, not a happy man. I could hear it in his voice, mate.
Not surprised. I'm not surprised, if I'm honest.
He was ready to rip the head off a snake then. Just tear it off and spit it out and go, someone's bloody spun me here. But the grid's all nice and tight. No one's backed off anywhere. Their boys are doing a great job. Back of the field's come through clean as well with no major issues. Bradley Wall on his return back into SRW for racing for Season 2. First time out in the wet in the Gen 3 car. Doing a great job.
Yeah, and I know
Travis Nielsen, nightmare continues. Off track.
Yeah, it's not surprising. We won't compound his issues anymore by showing it unless
Who's
it
the
is.
Tasmanian. Brett Taylor is a imported Tasmanian to Geelong.
Yeah, Brad Wall, of course, we spoke about a pre-race sinker. Feeling like Dennis Denudo going into his first court case for Darryl Kerrigan in this race here this evening. So we'll see how well he does. He might end up how Dennis ended up with his own.
That's NCIS, isn't it?
You'll finally get that printer that never breaks down. Will Brad Wall. So
doing well too, Brad. He's actually
he's done well.
He's keeping the pace up nice as well. Kwashi is he's getting a bit close. He's going to put the pressure on not too far. But Scotty Weston is slowed down Kwashi's teammate Clutterbuck. Clutterbuck is 4/10 on the back of Scotty Weston, so that battle is going to continue. We've got two little fights here, both TMX cars on the chase for positions going forward.
And then, of course, Ron Allen trying to chase down Kurt Nommensen at the moment. He's got Dan Bartish hot on his heels at this stage, and you can see just how wet the windscreen and the driver's side window is getting in these cars as well, filling up of spray and fog and dirt and muck. It's the visibility is not easy here, Sinker, in these sorts of conditions, and the spray is not going to make it any easier for some other drivers as well. I've just seen as well, Tomlin, Arnold and Mays have been off track. So what has happened further back in the field to those drivers who are battling within the mid-pack? And it seems to be down at the Gumtree.
Yeah, it is. There's a tough spot there. I've got the camera down. Yeah, that's what's happening around the Gumtree. People are trying to take the inside line. Some are going in too fast, taking the outside line. I've got the second camera on Di Feldman, who's putting a lot of pressure on John Van Ray. She's been sitting there around 3/10 to 4/10 on the back of him and having a great fun. Oh, was that Tomlin?
It was, yeah.
That was a great view of his car. A bit of good promotion there for the LCR team.
Yeah,
take that clip, mate. Put it on the wall as replay.
Yeah, Crummy, get that clip and, well, maybe just snap a photo of it for Chop. You can send it to him for his birthday.
Oh, he's just gone a little bit sideways. She's held it, but she's lost about 4 spots in the action of it. Just come in a little bit too heavy on the brakes as she came through that first corner. Clutterbuck set the fastest lap of the 1:37.927 in 4th place. Putting a lot of pressure there on Weston. Brad Wall is still sitting out there settled. 7, 8, 10. 235 is off track. Asked for a tow. Bradley Mays. Is he in a position where we may need a safety car? Safety car has been called as we speak. Oh, this is going to make it a bit more attractive out there. Just what the boys wanted. It's going to give some of these faster boys the option to cut into these boys. Dan Bartouche up 8 places.
That thing did not want to pull up, and it went about as slowly as ever into the wall.
And it fell apart like a transformer. Bonnet first, a few seconds later, the front lip.
Oh, so let's have a look, though, from his perspective, how this has happened to Brad Mays, and have a bit of a listen. Oh, the thing just didn't want to pull up.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was no response at all. He's obviously, at that point, he's already locked it up and the front's sliding, so no matter what he does with the steering wheel, it's just going to keep going forward. That car's cooked, mate. That engine's gone. Not even a good bit of Castrol will fix that right now.
So where's Barb's
on? If you're listening, we'd love a sponsor.
So I think Barb's is just at the exit of the pit lane here, Sinker, waiting for the leaders to come around. I don't think we're going to get any pit stops because we don't get pit stops in the 20-minute races, so should be pretty straightforward. The tough job now is just to get everyone in a line astern as well.
Geez, I tell you what, we're 6 minutes in as we speak. Just under 14 minutes left, and Bradley Wall is still leading the race, 4 laps in.
There he is there, parked at turn 1.
I'll give you 5 if someone's going to hit him.
Unfortunately for Alan Mazzaroli, his odds are at about a $1.10.
Oh, no. Oh, I thought Quashi was going to hit the back of Brad Wall then. Oh, no.
So the safety car is out. He's waiting at turn 1 to pick up the leaders at this stage. He's letting them know where he is and where he's waiting so they don't push too hard down towards turn 1. Unfortunately, we don't have a high-vis safety car livery, so actually as you exit that final corner, you can't see Barbs in the distance because he's in a silver car. So so they're going to have to really, just pull up and try and see him.
I don't know why iRacing hasn't come up with it yet. It should have lights on side, like lights on top of the car that flash like in a normal safety car. It's like
because
some things they do is just so far behind.
Because we're not using an actual safety car, we're using one of the race cars. That's why.
Yeah, but anything should automatically go tick 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 ding. Here's a set of lights for you. Here we go.
So Barbs has picked them up.
Cool, we're going green at the end of the lap straight away.
Not surprised. There's no wave rounds, and it's just trying to get everyone in their line astern. So we don't want to be in under safety car conditions for too long. It's only a 20-minute race. So we want to try and get them going as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Chris
Brad's
Tomlin.
been told to sit at 80k, so safety car is pulling away at 90k's.
Oh, Chris Tomlin has just had an incident actually trying to catch the train. So what's happened to him down at turn 1, 2?
Off the station.
He slipped off there at turn 1. Oh, round he goes. And unfortunately, that's a lost position because he can't get that back now because he's been off the road. So for Chop, need a brighter SC livery for the wet. Yeah, just make it day glow. They'll see it then if it's day glow.
Safety car's going to the pits now.
Either day glow or red, to be honest. Even if it's just the Warren Brown Tools red with the silver and red inverted. For the wet conditions, that might be the go.
Boys are getting ready.
Yep, and one thing as well that I've just seen, we may be waiting at the end of this race for a new split 1 server to be made because unfortunately it was set a little bit too early to start. So we'll keep everyone updated on that one, on how long it'll take us as the green flag is flying once again. So we'll keep everyone updated on how long our changeover period's going to be based on when that new server goes up. Hopefully it goes up fairly soon and we get a good 10 minutes or so just to change over. But Wall will lead us away, and he's done well off the restart, but he's got Quashi right behind him now. And Quashi was showing some good pace at the early stages of this race here, Sinker. So plenty of time for Quashi to put the pressure on Wall and maybe see if he can force him into a mistake as well.
Yeah, 100%. Michael's a seasoned vet in this series, been with us for a long, long time, and he's a very accomplished driver. He's definitely no slouch. And Brad's a bit rusty too. So he's definitely got the advantage chasing Brad down.
Quashi's having a little bit of a blink then. He's all good now. Well, I mean...
Brad walked a little bit wide. But that almost cost Quashi. Quashi almost...
Oh, it's cost him now because Weston's nearly got by him. He ran it real deep.
Yeah, Brad put him way off that line then. He's got a puddle there on the inside. He's got to be careful. His teammates nearly come through as well, trying to follow him through as he's gone through there. If Quashi had just slowed down a little bit more then, he could have had Clutters come in beside him almost and space Scotty Weston out then. Fastest guy on the grid is at the moment is Dan Clutterbuck.
Robinson off the road at the end of the straight.
For a bit of watch your re-entry, son. He's going to run out of track there soon. That was close. 235 retired from the race. 235 Bradley Mays. Oh, we blew up the engine, yes. So he hasn't come back out there. It's getting out there. We're looking at just about 9 minutes left on track. Getting pretty dark there in some of those spots with the rain coming up. The lights, the day is getting cloudier and darker, so a bit harder to see. Oh, Baxter's off, Mazzaroli's off.
Yeah, a couple of drivers.
Lipsky's off.
Yep, and it's down at turn 1 too. So as we continue to battle our way on through here, we're just under 10 minutes to go in this race. Brad Wall leads the way. Michael Quash chasing him down. Scotty Weston is on the provisional podium at the moment. He's got Daniel Clutterbuck chasing him down as well. So, but I can see though Clutters, and that's a mistake from Quashy, a rare mistake. Sinker sees him off the road down at the entry to the back straight, and he's dropping positions. Cost him a massive amount.
Tell you what, Bradley Wall's just set the fastest lap of the 137.08. He's doing a great job. Marty Hughes is off track as well down the back there somewhere.
Yeah, there he is in the grass. So that corner, that corner has been a real struggle for some drivers, it seems, all throughout the race. So he's got now a world of gap between him and Scott Weston for the top 2 spots. Clutter's chasing him down too.
I'm going to change my...
contact between Quash and Bartish at turn 3. Bartish has drilled Michael Quash off the road at turn 3. So what has happened? Has he just missed his... Oh, he slid it up as he tried to break it, and it's just gone.
He's just lost the front end on it, and unfortunately, he's just given that to Quashy.
Just compounding the heartbreak.
Down at 18th place now.
Oh, really?
So Quashy, who's been sitting there in second place waiting for Brad Wall to make a mistake, has gone 2 incidents in a row down to 15th. Places to 19th.
Lipsky has also been given a drive-through penalty for lap 7, turn 1. And unfortunately for Michael Quash, if he hadn't have made that mistake leading onto the back straight, he wouldn't have been in the position to get drilled from behind by Dan Bartish.
Correct.
That's racing, and that happens. You see Mazzaroli off the road there as they run around the gum tree and in towards the last part of the middle sector as well. So the battles are starting to heat up for some drivers as they continue their run through. Van Ree off the road.
Yeah, he's taking the scenic route around the final corner and just maintained that car around it too. Scotty Weston has now picked the pace up. He's done a 1:35.982, pretty much 1 second faster. All right, so Bartush's car, he's got his screen's gone black. That's why he's hit the car in front of him. He didn't know what was going on. He's retiring from the race with faulty equipment. The talk of the town at the moment is Bradley Wall. Led the race from start to finish so far. He's had 9 laps up ahead. He's got 5 minutes left to maintain that lead. He's got himself out to 2 seconds on the back of Scotty Weston. But Scotty Weston is on fire. Scotty Weston just took out a 1.5 seconds on him just then. But Brad's got 1.83, so doing really well. A few off tracks. Quashy's off again. Mazzaroli is off at the back, Alan.
Yep, so they're still trying to keep themselves in high spirits. Lipsky enters pit lane to... he doesn't even enter pit lane. He left pit lane. He came in to do his drive-through penalty, so he's now back out on track. His teammate Alan Mazzaroli is still off the road down at turn 3, 4.
Oh, have a look at the bottom screen at the moment. We've got a bit of overtaking just about to happen. Van Ray is putting some pressure on at the moment, and the boys there, and Di Feldman's involved there as well. So Van Ray's on the back of Russell Ure, and Di's now on the back of Van Ray.
Normanson trying to
got him
chase
too
down the front
wide.
runners. Clutters has set a fastest lap of the race, mind you, as well, Sinker. 1:35.79 the last lap from Daniel Clutterbuck. So he is chasing down that AM win at the moment. What a win it would be for Brad Wall as the rookie class. He would not only win that class, he'd also win the split as well here this evening if he can hang on to that first place.
Extremely well done. So it'd be Brad Wall first, Craig Healy second, and John Van Ray third. So Di Feldman's fighting for a podium finish, which we haven't seen yet. We've seen Di come close a few times. All she needs to do, and she's having a crack right now. Oh, no, she's backed right off on it.
Yeah, she lost out to Jeff Arnold and put it up the inside at turn 5. to get on by past Di Feldman there. A couple of minutes left for this split. Unfortunately, we're going to have to change straight over to split 1 at the end of this race. We're not going to have time to really to wait around, too long. Car 95 is retiring, and it has a 20-point post-race penalty as well. So that is Dan Bartish. He's been given a 20-point post-race penalty for that moment, I would say, with Michael Quash. So.
Correct. So because he can't serve the drive-through penalty, he's got technical issues with his car. He still needs to serve a penalty of sorts. So a 20-point penalty is equivalent to. Look at that! I don't know how he's held that on.
Quashy is trying to get this move done on Scott Weston. He's going to have the inside line at turn 3. Can he get this done down the inside?
Yes.
He's not quite done it yet. They're still too wide. He's only just going to get him. Oh, no, he's still there. Weston's still there.
This guy's in the wet, going too wide across the back end now.
And this is only helping Brad Wall. This is extending his lead at the moment, giving him a lifeline to the end of the race.
Oh, well done there.
And off goes Weston. He got it back on in time.
Those boys.
I don't think there was any malice in that. No contact,
no,
just running it wide.
I don't think they even touched. But I think that Scotty Weston just took a little bit too much pace in there. That was spectacular racing. That first pass. Oh, Clutters, you got to hold on to that, mate. You can't just let it go after all that hard work.
So we're going to have 1 lap to go for Brad Wall at the front of the field in this race. Clutterbuck and Weston.
Right now? Brad Wall's not sweating about the cars behind him. He's sweating about his interview.
Yeah.
He doesn't like speaking on the show, so he'll be sweating about that.
I'll let you handle that one.
About what's going on.
I'll let you handle that one then, Sinker. As we run around the final corner, 1 lap left for the front runners of this race. And as they rocket down towards turn 1, well, the pressure is on. Clutters, can he get this job done on Wall? Can he gain 2.7 seconds over the final lap and then get it past Brad Wall? I don't know if he has that sort of lap time in him at the moment with these tyres and these conditions.
Not under these conditions, nah. It'd be too tough.
Yeah.
It'd be way too tough. But Wall will take out the rookie and the top spot for the 9th. That is spectacular. The 1, 2, and 3, Daniel Clutterbuck, Scotty Weston. And what do we got? Craig Healy 2nd for the rookies, and John Van Ray finishing 3rd. Well, Healy, not if he keeps doing that. He's just gone off track.
He has. So he needs to be careful now. He's lucky he's got a bit of time between him and Van Ray. But for Brad Wall, he looks to survive in this race. Only a couple of corners left for him. The next 2 corners are the toughest corners on the track. It's proven to be tonight, as drivers have straight lined both this corner and the second to last corner. He makes it round there clean.
He's taking it real easy.
He is. And I don't blame him. Gap's down to under a second, but if he can keep it ahead by the final corner, I don't think Clutters is going to be able to get a run on him. So as he comes around the second to last corner and up towards the final turn, our own Dennis Denuno of SRW, Brad Wall, is going to take the overall win as a rookie here in Split 2 with Clutterbuck and Weston on your overall podium here this evening. Wall and Clutters win their classes here at Winton Motor Raceway, and Clutters sets the fast lap of the race on the last lap there, 135.25. Wasn't quite enough. Wasn't quite enough for him.
No. Brad was very conservative across all that. Done really well. There was he lost about nearly a full second on the back of Clutters there. Clutters chasing him down. Clutters did the fastest lap, the last lap of the race, of the 135.254. So well done there, and even that couldn't help him. But man, what a race. That was a lot of fun. I don't know how the viewers felt. Like, subscribe, hit the notification buttons. But that was spectacular driving for all the drivers. Nowhere near the carnage we thought we were going to get at the beginning of the night. Di just missed out in the top 10. She's finished in 11th place and just missed out on podium as well by 2 spots. But some great driving out there all round.
All right, so we're going to have to pull the quick little sneaky once again. So let's just turn down our countdown. We'll unmute Discord as well in the intro screen because we've got to move quick and fast to change servers tonight. We've been put under pressure, it seems, not only by the weather gods, but by Cowie as well. So we've got to move ultra quickly to get into that split 1 server to make sure we make the race start. So bear with us for a second. Your results, so provisional results for split 2 are as follows. Brad Wall, P1 to Daniel Clutterbuck, Scott Weston on your overall podium. Ron Allen, Matt Fu, Craig Healy, Kurt Normanson, Russell Uren, John Van Ree, and Jeff Arnold made up the top 10. Di Feldman, Tommy DeWitt, Travis Nielsen, Brett Taylor, Chris Tomlin, Rob Baxter, Michael Quash, Marty Hughes, Wayne Edwards, Martin Lipsky, and Alan Mazzaroli made up the finishers in that race as well. That is... there we go. So... we've got to move.
That was spectacular.
Very spectacular.
So that's not too bad. Wow, what a race. I'll tell you what, viewers, we weren't expecting that. We were expecting carnage galore. We were thinking it's going to be Godzilla 5, but instead it was some spectacular driving all round by the boys. Really good job. Really good job. Very impressed.
It's a fantastic job.
Is Mr. Wall in the...
There he is. There he's in the green room. He's in the green room. So ready for you to have a chat to him as we bring him in now.
Yeah. Bradley not admit, Mr. Wall. What the hell was that?
I don't know, but hell yeah, brother.
You led that thing from the start to the finish. Got really close at the beginning, and then I'll tell you what, it would have been Code Brown those last few corners because Clutters was trapping you down. Got the lap record for the night.
Yeah, I was watching him come, and I was just trying to keep it straight, and manage all that.
What was going through your mind, mate? Were you watching the rear vision mirrors too much in the end, or were you still focusing on the front?
I was trying to focus on the front as much as I could, but all I could think was shit.
First time in the rain in the car as well. Well done.
Yep, first wet race on iRacing in this bloody thing at Winton. So I don't have any answers for you. I don't know how I did it. I just tried to stay clean.
Not a bad cherry pop, mate. Your first split 2 win and your first wet race in your second Gen 3 car for the year.
Yep. Yeah, it's it's a great start. Hopefully it can continue.
I think your days as a rookie might be cooked.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. But I tell you what, if you're going to keep driving like that, it won't really matter because it was pretty good driving, mate. It was very well done under pressure. Even in the first race, you were doing pretty well. You had a few little minor incidents, but that probably helped you more than anything because it got you that reverse top 10.
Yeah, well, I actually dropped off quite a lot at the start of the race there, and then I managed to claw my way back, and back in the 9th where I started.
What did you think? What went through your head when you saw that you were going to be on the front of the grid?
Oh, same as what was going through the race, man. Shit. But yeah, I'm just glad I got some practice starts in before tonight because otherwise it would have been a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, mate, congratulations on your first win for season 2. Epic drive, mate. Good to see you out there having fun again. Do you want to shout out to family, friends who helps you get on track?
Yeah, say thanks to my partner and my son, and let me have the time to practice and all that before I hop on, and then for tonight. And then I'd like to thank your sponsors for letting us do this. It's pretty cool. Excellent,
mate. Well, good luck for the rest of the season, dude, and sit back with a bourbon and feature the split 1 is about to start in a couple of minutes, so we've just got there in time. So enjoy it, mate, and see you next week.
Thanks for having me, guys. Have fun in the next race.
Cheers, mate. Clutters. What the hell, mate? What was Quashy? What was going through Quashy's mind? Sitting there the whole way through in second place, putting the pressure on. 2 small incidents, and it sent him down all the way to like 20th, I think.
Yeah, I think he had one minor incident, and then one of the other guys apparently had graphical issues or something and nose to tail, and that sent him flying, I think. So bad luck.
He got reamed in the back end of there, but he's if he didn't make that little brake error, he would have been sweet. He would have been away from the carnage in the back, mate. But mate, you had some mega pace on. we weren't sure if there was going to be. I reckon if you would have another 2 laps at that pace, you might have had Brad. But I don't think Brad would have slowed down as much because he was in code brown, just trying to get to the end and making sure he didn't spin the last few corners. But mate, what a lap! You really settled into that car. Did it feel good out there?
Yeah, just got on a rhythm. It turns out I can swim better than I can drive. I think the car was really wet.
So you reckon you're like a duck, mate? The feet are pedaling like crazy and everything else looks smooth?
Oh, mate, I was just soaring the steering wheel, hoping for the best. Honestly, it was. But once you sort of picked the line, you could sort of just float the car around a little bit, and it was okay. It was a lot of fun actually, but it was really good in the second race, sort of sitting behind a bit of traffic, because very, very different when you're just seeing a wall of grey in front of you rather than having open track like I did in the first race. So it was good fun.
Yeah. So what's the plan for this season, mate? You and Clutters, I think you both. I'm sorry, you and Glacier are both very accomplished drivers in this grid. Could be a title on the cards here if you guys get consistent scores all the way through.
I reckon if we're ever going to have a chance, it'll be this season. So
season.
We'll give it our best and we'll see how we go.
1-2.
Oh, that'd be nice. Quatchy's finished this race not feeling so confident. He's basically already saying his season's over, but we'll see.
No sweat, man. Look, there's always a drop round as well. So he's just got to help him pick him up, mate. Hit him over your shoulder and say, right, mate, we're getting into this. We're going to do it.
That's exactly what I said, mate. So good advice. I'll pass it on.
Mate, who gets you out on track and supports TMX?
Yeah. Well, thank you to TMX. I know a couple of guys from TMX watching tonight, so it's always good to have a bit of support there. And as usual, thank you to you guys and your sponsors as well. This is a great show. We love it. Everything you do.
Excellent, mate. Good luck for the rest of the season. Good to see you out there at the pointy end fighting it out, and good luck for the rest of the racing, mate. Congratulations.
Cheers, fellas. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate. Hamish, you've let a cowie in.
He's joined.
Yeah,
he's joined by himself.
You give me admin rights, I'm going to jump in everywhere.
Who let the door open?
I just wanted to let you know that I didn't realise we needed to start the session a bit later for because of the sprint. And what happened is race control was unable to make it in to the session because the heat race, it cuts it off at the start of quality, not the end. Oh, why is heat race showing as 1 now? Oh, because I'm in the wrong race. I'm in the wrong session. Sorry.
Mate, calm down. Take a deep breath. Sit down. And we're going to start racing soon.
Well, we've got to jump over to a new session, gents. So I just got to let everyone know in the room.
So do we also need to wait for the grid to be set as well? Because qualifying's been done.
Again.
Okay.
No, they'll be qualifying again.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
And that's what we had to do because race control couldn't make it into the room.
Okay. All right. Well, they're all about to go racing, so
yeah.
I'm seeing them. They're all going racing, Cowie. So
yeah, I can see on my bottom screen. They're all done. Beautiful job there. I don't know if they heard them.
Do you want to keep going?
No. Well, we don't have race control, so it's better for us to have race control in there. So put a message out there, Cowie. Get it sorted. We do apologise to the viewers out there as well for this delay. We got in time. We got in time, but yeah.
But yeah, I didn't realise that you need to allow a bit extra time with the
Are the drivers aware?
I just tried to tell them. I'm going to tell them again.
Yeah, because there's drivers off track at the moment down at turn 3, so they might want another crack at this if they can. But thanks for letting us know, Cowie. We'll wait for a new server to go up. It's about to become the Hamish and Sinker podcast again. Like on Sunday.
You can put my screen on. They're all having fun.
I'm still in the server, but we also want to be able to wait for the real race.
The other server should already be up, so people should be able to jump straight in.
Okay, cool. All right. So let the drivers know that as well, mate. I'll quit out of this one.
They're all jumping out now, gents.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, War Boys goes, I hope we're not qualifying again because that would be completely wrong. Who qualified first?
War Boys.
Oh, no. Where did James Scott qualify fourth?
P2, I think it was, or something.
P2.
Yeah, so he was around abouts there, but Warboys would
they
want.
should really do a manual grid, but they won't have time.
We don't have time to do a manual grid, unfortunately. So we've got to join the new server, get in there for qualifying for these drivers. This is the first time. This has actually happened to us. To be fair, on the double split night. Every other time we've run double split, we have not had crossover like that. So it's Cowie's new to admin.
It happens.
Yeah, I mean he's new to admin. It's a minor mistake. That's okay. Luckily for us, we can make new servers.
Is the session there?
It is there, mate. It is there.
Is it the second one?
Actually,
the 844.
Hang on. No, it is there because Sam Katakazinos and Barbs are in the server. So it's the one that has got Greg Barber and Sam Katakazinos in it, because it still has time on it. So, it's dry as well.
Oh no!
It's still. Thanks, Greg. We'll make this as entertaining as possible. If you thought we got too many jokes out of the wet racing, just wait till we go dry racing. We're gonna get a heap of jokes out of this. Don't you worry.
There's gonna be a few unhappy boys out there.
No, there will be. Don't worry. There definitely will be. But they're big boys. They'll get over it. We'll be fine.
Anyway, viewers, what a night! What a night! It's been fantastic on track. A bit of extra action off track, and the show must go on, as they say, and it's just going to be a lot of fun.
So we are in the new server as drivers drive around. I'm taking this opportunity now to make sure I have added all the drivers correctly who were new tonight to this split. So give me a second here while I do this as all the other drivers join. But luckily for us, we do still get qualifying sync up.
Yep.
So it'll be this will be the go for them here this evening. So Peter Max is out there at the moment, setting some laps here in qualifying as well. So I'm sure he'll be rearing and ready to go for another chance at qualifying. I think the unfortunate part is obviously it's dry, so that takes away the wet factor for a sinker, but also they have to re-qualify. Yeah, and they now have to re-qualify as well, which does that take away the opportunity for Warboys at pole? I mean, this is his home track. He should have more laps around here than anybody, realistically, so...
Not sure. I think, Warboys is just got to finish in the top two, doesn't he? So...
yeah, he does. No. That's for Sunday's sinker. Tuesdays is a whole different. Yeah, Tuesday is a whole different kettle of fish. He needs wins. He needs to beat James Scott on track because they're starting at 0. So he actually needs to beat him now.
Forgot about that.
Yeah,
I forgot there was the other series.
Hello, Cowie.
Oh no, there's no automatic pit limiter either. They're giving it to Cowie now.
Boys. Yeah, the forecast said that it was supposed to be 70% chance of rain, and it's now showing in session as 9%. So I don't know what's happened there. So.
That's all right, mate.
It's all right, Cowie.
Look,
it's all right.
Don't stress, Cowie. It's all good, mate. The show goes on.
Look, yeah, if you're going to butcher it, you might as well do it early, I suppose.
People that are viewing don't know there's errors unless you mention them.
Very true.
And Cowie, to just say to those, if anyone's complaining about the lack of pit speed limiter being automatically turned on, just tell them to set a button. We're not going to make a new server just because we can't set the pit limiter for free.
Hell no. Hell no.
No, it does. It is an issue because it means that I've had, disallow driving aids, allow clutch instead of all driving aids. So it may make a difference for some people. But
Blake's got a sad face. Well, that is very disappointing. I think he would have been. I was really looking forward to it too as well. But the battle in the wet was going to be spectacular out there with James Scott and Blake. But it is what it is.
I think Barbs wants to chat to you in the green room, Cowie. So we're going to see. Yeah. We're going to see what Barbs has to say to Cowie. I feel for him. I feel for Cowie.
Barbs is going to put Cowie over his knee.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sinker, we're both league admin, and we're both series admin as well, and yet you hate it when this sort of thing happens. Of course, I mean it's a minor mistake. Realistically speaking, we can still go racing. You know, there's no difference. It just means that what would have happened in race 3 and 4, we don't know now. We don't know. And we don't know what happened in qualifying because we weren't here for it. So, in my mind, nothing's really changed apart from the clouds disappearing.
Look, it is what it is. Cowie, if you're listening, don't worry about stop apologising to the drivers. It is what it is. They'll get it. Let them focus. Let them settle in, and they're going to have a killer race anyway.
I just tell them to deal with it. It's split one. Deal with it. I'll be right there. She'll be right.
Now, so I don't have to hear him. But anyway, the boys are out there. The safety car's having a bit of a practice session as well. I don't know if they're going to fast forward this one.
Oh, I've just noticed Dylan Gray is in a Pacific Esports Racing livery.
Yes, I knew that was coming out. I saw the registration this afternoon, and thought, whoa, that's going to be very interesting.
It will indeed. It will indeed. So we'll see how that pans out for him. Billy Mole's already proving he's got some pace in this session. So is Blake Urquhart as well. Peter Baxter too. So we're into practice. Qualifying will be coming our way very, very shortly, I'm sure. And we'll have to wait and see how these drivers do in this race now in dry conditions. It appears someone's gone out there with a broom just to get rid of it. Dan's asking why is top split dry? Aren't they meant to be the same? Dan, go back about 10 minutes and you'll understand why we're in a dry server now. It's because there was a mistake made on the original service for split 1. Race control could not get in, so we had to make a new server, and unfortunately the weather prediction changed it, so now it's dry. So this is not because we've made it deliberately dry for split 1. This is because we had to scramble to make a new session. So don't complain about that, I would say. But now that we don't have wet weather, Sinker, for the split 1 races, what's your prediction? Because I don't think it's going to be the weather's definitely now not going to be a factor. This is now going to come down to the drivers and how chaotic they're feeling. How do we think this now changes the dynamics of this race now that we're not in the wet?
I think the faster guys, it doesn't really matter. They're going to be just as fast, no matter if it's wet or dry. It's just a matter of which one was going to adapt to it quicker. I guess we won't know on this track. We'll have wet weather out there on another track another day. But look, it is what it is. I don't know. I don't think it's going to change anything. I think they're all going to be a cracking pace out there. You already see Mueller at the front. You already see Billy Mole up there. Dylan Gray, we know he's a fast boy out there. So, you know, fingers crossed that it goes cracking.
Sorry, Dan. Sorry, no, you're good. You're good. I was just saying, yeah, we, I mean, it was, I don't want to say it was challenging for us, but these things happen. It's racing, so sorry if that came off a bit snappy when I responded. But no, yeah, we've already been dealing with Cowie apologising for making the mistake, so we didn't really want to continue to compound that upon him as well. But it's it is what it is.
Have you noticed the new colours for Mitch Noble?
I've not looked at him yet. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. So, what's led to this, Sinker, if I might ask?
I've no idea. He said the other night he's had enough of racing, and I did sort of suspect that he didn't have the balls to tell me he was going to Apex, and there he is. He's in the Apex vehicle, so yeah, it's all right. He mucks around with them and gets in the sessions with them and that. So he's obviously having a bit of fun with those balls. There's nothing wrong with that.
Stephanie Piccoli showing off that it's Team Apex as well. So, but no, I mean a new opportunity for Mitch. We'll see how this pans out for him now. I think, realistically speaking, Apex may offer him now, Sinker, the ability to learn. It obviously gives an opportunity to learn off some new drivers that weren't in his team previously, of course. But maybe some of those drivers as well have just got a little bit more experience or a little bit more pace in the supercar if that's what he wants to focus on. Team SRW's got very talented drivers in Brandon Levin, Kyle Lavery, Jacob Traynor's been getting faster and faster. So is Josh King. So is Travis Nielsen as well. but perhaps, you know, Mitch feels that this move is one that where he can now learn off guys like, like Andrew Rushworth, for example, and maybe find just a little bit more pace in the supercar. Because Rushy's been making big old runs up the order over the last couple of seasons of supercars, so that might be one of his factors, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, no, look, it's all good. A different atmosphere is always a good start. You know, as long as he's having fun, hard feelings, he's just got to have fun and keep going for it.
That's exactly right. Will Morgan out there as well for PR, so we've got a heap of Pelicans tonight, but no water for them on the circuit. So.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, if they would have gone well in the floods, all they needed was the arc to show up at one corner for them to climb into.
They could have carried some of the fish as well.
This is true. This is true. Everyone seems to be out there cutting their times. We have got 4 minutes left of the practice, then we'll see them go into a beautiful little quali session. And Barb's is talking to them at the moment. Oh, sorry, I've turned my mic down.
So, can I ask as well, Sinker?
Yes.
Because we were just talking about Mitch Noble. I need to confirm as well. So, is Mitch and Josh friends locally, like in Canberra together?
Yes, they are.
Okay,
yeah.
so has Josh left as well, or is Josh still with SRW?
Oh, Josh is still this, but at the moment, I haven't seen anyone say that he's leaving.
Oh no, I'm not, the only reason I'm asking is obviously Josh joined when Mitch joined because they were friends, and I didn't know if maybe they'd gone together or if it was just Mitch. So doing that little journalistic thing of deep diving.
Mate, I could rock up tomorrow. Maybe they've all left.
Oh, who knows? Who knows? Well, we're only in practice at the moment here, Mark. So I didn't think to put up the timing at the moment. These are some of the times that have been set here in practice, but qualifying is still to come in a couple of moments' time as well. We're not under racing conditions just yet, so you get a little bit more of a chatter between myself and Sinker for a period.
Yeah, we've got just under 4 minutes, around 4 minutes left in the practice session, so there'll be plenty of time for a bit more fun. What's the prediction tonight, mate? Battle between the two sluggers out there, War Boys and Scott.
James has got immense pace. So is Blake, but this is Blake's home track as well. Like, this is legitimately his home track. He's a part of the Albury-Wodonga Kart Club, which is not too far away from Winton itself. If he's ever done drive days in cars, it would have been here for sure. So he's probably done an immense amount of laps around this circuit. He had the pole in the wet session. So he obviously knows this track from the back of his hand for it to be wet. In the dry, we'll see how it pans out for him, but we know that he's strong. He's a former winner here in SRW at Winton, so see how that pans out for him as he's going for a bit of a traverse down the airstrip in the middle of the circuit.
The airstrip. We've had some fun down that airstrip, that's for sure. We did the what do you call it? The drag down that strip there. First to hit the wall was the winner. That was a lot of fun that night. We'll have to do something crazy like that again between season breaks.
You could also go with you could do time drags where you go from the end between turn 3 and turn 4, and then you run it to the point till you get to the line that cuts off the airstrip before you get onto the actual back straight. So that could literally be the line if you want to do shorter runs. So then your start's more important than your gain of speed, but. You can't do it at Thruxton because Thruxton throws you back into the pit lane if you try and do the drag, but you can do it at Sonoma, I'm pretty sure, down the giant strip there.
We actually did the drags at Sonoma as well. That was on a different night.
I wonder if you could do a burnout competition, Singer, if we could figure out how to score that and just do it on the burnout pad here at Winton.
Well, we don't you remember the burnout race? The burnouts we did.
We did burnouts in the Pro 2s, but like an actual burnout competition.
We actually look it up on YouTube, boys and girls. We had a burnout night, and we actually scored. We had people in the booth, and we were scoring, giving drivers points for their efforts. We let them out one by one. Tyson was RC, and he was telling the guys who's coming out next, and they went out and did some burnouts, and it was a pretty cool night. It was actually a lot of fun. We went for about, I think, a good hour. Some mega burnouts, some unbelievable stuff. Guys got a bit smart and started working on their bias, pushing it all forward so they can control their burnouts a bit better, and different types of trucks and cars. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun,
That
actually.
must have been before my time.
It was before your time, yeah.
Because the only special event I can recall that was outside of normal racing was the time trial at Mount Washington.
We did the time trial. We also did... we've done the time trial a few times. We also had Bathurst Jump Night, where we were scoring...
Can't do that anymore.
No, I can't do it anymore. Where we were scoring the level of the more carnage in the jump, the more epic the jump was, the bigger the score, and that was pretty cool. We had a cracking night doing that. So we had everyone lining up at the old Jim Beam sign, and flying down the hill one by one. And then some guys decided to go twos as teams, and it was a spectacular night. That'll be on YouTube somewhere as well. So if you want to check that out, that'll be spectacular to watch.
As we've also had confirmation that Angus Lawford also lives 30 minutes down the road from Winton as well. So another home track circuit, or for another home track boy out there on the server tonight as qualifying is about to get underway for these drivers. The second time they have to qualify. How hard's it going to be for Blake Warboys to go pole again? Well, it's all going to be told in about 15 minutes' time as the drivers begin to exit pit lane to get their first chance at a qualifying lap.
He's out straight away. He's one of the first out there.
Yeah, James Scott's out there straight away because he wants to get this lap in if he can.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens for these drivers. He's got Ryan Mueller wanting to try and get past him. I don't know if James would want to be stuck behind Ryan. Warboys is out, of course, as well. He wants to time in straight away as well. So plenty of time for these drivers to get a lap in qualifying. They will get cut off at the end of the 15 minutes, being that it is a sprint round here tonight.
Yeah.
If you recall back to the last time we were here at Winton for the Sunday Series, Warboys got into the wars with Rehan Leonage down at turn 6 at the end of lap 1, or at the midpoint of lap 1, if you recall. So he'll be hoping to do a little bit better than that here this evening.
Jack Slade, I'll be in this split next season, so get good at calling my name. Jack Slade, he sounds like an old detective out of a black and white movie.
He sounds like a professional wrestler from the early 2000s, if I'm honest.
With Beavis.
Sounds like, and facing him tonight, local competitor Jake Slade, before he just gets absolutely squashed by...
Jake the Snake Slade.
Yeah, there you go. Jacob Traynor claiming he's going to start from the back of the field here tonight.
Might as well, mate. If you haven't already missed the entry, qualifying started.
He may have missed it because it cuts off.
Yeah. No, he's there. He's there at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, down with Crosby. Crosby, Steels and Nash.
So James Scott is setting the timing sheets alive right now. He's on a purple sector in the first. So he is trying to push this thing to its absolute limit in the mid part of the sector at this stage. I'd expect 121s, maybe even 120s from the fast boys here in the dry sinker. And those mid-pack runners, maybe a 122.
I wonder how real-world Winton compares to the wet compared to in iRacing. That would be an interesting conversation to have with Warboys.
Yeah, I mean that's if he's done car laps around here in the wet. I mean, I'm sure he's done laps in a race car around the circuit. Of course, he predominantly races go-karts, but I'm sure he's done plenty of car laps around here. Warboys goes to the top, 121.83. James Scott's going to pip him, though, as he crosses the line. What's the time going to be? 121.98. Oh, sorry, 5.8.
5.8.
So mid-21s for the front runners at the moment. Yeah. Mueller at 22. Gray, Burridge, Stone Street at 22 as well. As I think that was Adrian Mills turned around at the exit of turn 9. That's unfortunate for him. He's been in the worry books all night, Sinker. First he joined the wrong server to start the night. He was in the split 2 server, actually cutting laps.
He's just joined us midweek too.
Yeah, so he's been thrown at the deep end. A privateer, it seems, running out there. See how well he does here tonight. I feel pretty confident in that, actually. Yeah, 22s at the moment for the majority of the field. Some 23s as well. I did some laps around here earlier in the week. Sinker managed to get myself a high 29, a 22. Sorry, not a high 29, 22.9.
Who's got the Pennzoil livery? That looks pretty cool.
Well, it would be. I don't know if it's a Pennzoil livery. Let's have a look here. It's not Adrian Mills. It's definitely not Cowie. It's Jack Alesi. There it is.
One of the new boys.
Yeah, one of the new boys, Jack Alesi. Yeah, I did a low 22, high 22, I should say. On relatively
I haven't
high
been
field.
in Rick since the last race we did in the Formula 3s. I've just, I don't know.
Well, I love Winton. I love driving here. Doesn't matter what you put me in, it is an absolute blast. One of the best cars I have driven at this circuit, I took it around the club circuit actually, is the Audi Quattro GTO car, the four-wheel drive old GT car. It absolutely rips and dips, and you hear that turbo blow-off valve go off in that or down the straight. It sounds incredible. You send that thing down the straight, and it just sounds immense. It's so fun to drive, especially here. It builds confidence. That's some of these.
Let's see where Will Buchanan comes out in this collie.
We'll see where he ends up. Ah, yes, thank you.
Sixth.
Yeah, it's a good effort.
Nice. Yeah, great effort.
Oh, P7 now, but leading the Pro-Am. So I think from that lap, he's just confirmed that he was split wrong last week, but that's fine. He's been changed over. You'll still get an opportunity.
Stefan Lawrence at the pointy end of his class as well, which is good to see.
It's P4, but P15, so a little bit of time to find for Stefan at the moment. They pointed out in the chat, both Jake Slade and Brendan Griffiths of Project 36 have pointed out that Jack Alesi's car is based upon Chelsea Denofa's Formula Drift car. So that's what that one is based upon. As he's off the circuit at the moment, so he is struggling further back in the field at the moment. Yeah, having a bit of a drift session happening. James Scott, though, is at the top of the timesheets with that 121.58 at this stage. Blake Warboys P2 121.83, so they've not managed to get a new lap in just yet, but they're having to deal with the traffic at this stage too. They've not been able to quite find a bit of free air, but for Blake, he is getting the toe off of James Scott. As Scott crosses the line, what's the time going to be? It's a 121.56. Warboys does go better, 121.75, but not good enough for provisional pole.
So 2 tenths at the moment, 2 tenths, and 8 minutes left to go. And we're in for a banger. This is going to be a cracking race. I'm just looking at the names in this split. It's spectacular. Some really fast boys out here. A lot of Pelicans.
Well, Pelicans fly together, as we've seen before, Sinker, and we'll see how well they spread their wings. It would stop people from passing you.
Billy Mole's struggling for a bit of pace tonight. He's not up the pointy end like he normally is.
Yeah, as he crosses the line, P6 from that last lap time there, 122.56. So maybe just managing the traffic was the struggle.
Just behind his teammate, so he's right on song there. Angus Lawford showing some experience on his track, the 122.3 in fourth.
And of course, he lives nearby as well, only 30 minutes away.
Will Morgan's a new driver. He's in third.
Yeah, for a PER as well. So is he now bringing the claim to Ryan Mueller's spot? Because we know Mueller's got pace, but is he struggling to find the free air to get a lap in tonight, maybe? Maybe that's the struggle for Ryan at the moment.
I think it is for a few boys. I can see a few people fighting for position there, trying to get into a position to get a bit of clear track.
Jeremy Bush has got a bit of free air for himself. Mitch Noble trapped in behind his former teammate, Jacob Traynor, who is in P15.
I love that purple car.
It does look nice. It is a nice. It's a lovely purple, I must say.
It is. It's a really nice purple. I love it in the chrome, especially. Got my beer and my M&M's ready. Piccoli, what the hell? Beer and M&M's?
So that doesn't sound too bad of a combination, actually.
No, you can sweet beer is savoury, man. Yeah, beer with sweets. What was the flavour?
I could see it working. I'd prefer to have a rum and M&M's, if I'm honest.
Yeah, correct. It's sweet on sweet.
But beer would probably go better with chips or pretzels, mind you, or maybe even some peanuts or something, maybe.
Yeah, I had some Hershey pretzels the other night, last night. Bit too salty though.
Yeah.
But they were chocolate cookies and cream covered with pretzel. The pretzel was too salty, but American flavour.
Yeah, Steph's claiming it goes all right. I suppose it depends what beer it is as well.
Yeah.
If there's any of that New South Wales stuff, I mean, it might just have to be kept there. But War Boys, just struggling to get it turned through turn one. So the issue now is if any of these drivers have prepared a wet setup for tonight, and now all of a sudden they have to use the setup in the dry. And if they don't have a dry setup, then all of a sudden they're, well, quote unquote, they're in deep water. Not literally,
it's
but
going to affect every single driver out there. So it's neither here nor there.
So Will Morgan, though, on a personal best sector in Sector 2 and a session best in Sector 1. Have we got someone to challenge the top of the timesheets to James Scott? As we get closer and closer to the 10-minute mark, that's a big wiggle out of the final corner. That might cost him as he comes up towards the line. What's the lap time for him? It did. It was a 122.72, but the pace is there for Will Morgan, the unknown of PER. Can he get this car into pole position in qualifying? Well, he seems to back himself. He's got the Oscar Piastri helmet. That's not going to be the run he wants, so through 3. He's going to have to reset, maybe have another approach on the next lap. Rushworth with some pace up to P4.
Yeah. Doing very well. He did that well. He just decided to go straight after the finish line.
Fair play to Steph. She's drinking a Victorian beer. That's fine. So, fair enough, Steph. That's all good.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't go past the Carlton.
Past the Carlton.
Yeah. Here we go. All right, who's the pick out there? We got any safety cars? What's the story? We're going to have safety cars out here tonight.
I think we'll get one.
You reckon we'll get one?
Yeah. No, I think just one across both, actually. I don't know if we're going to get one in each. I suppose it depends how chaotic it is. If we're pretty tame in race 1, then I'll stand with that one across both. If they're fighting like it's, like they're fighting for sheep stations at turn 1, then we may get one. Then we may get one in both. But I'll say one across both of them.
I wonder if Morgan's going to be racing Sunday nights. He's got a bit of pace there, mate. He could fit into that quite well. Some of these boys should maybe they're scared of no assists.
Well, they might just be maybe they're just not available on the Sunday as well.
We've got 3 guys that haven't taken to the track: Crosby, Urquhart, and Elsey.
Elsie's been out there, but he's not on the pace at the moment. Blake's not out there.
Been out, but not all the way out. Crosby hasn't been out at all.
I don't know. Not sure. Maybe it's getting too late for them before work tomorrow. I'm not sure. But I think a couple of minutes left in qualifying. James Scott still sits in that provisional pole position. Can Will Morgan find the lap pace that he had at the start of his last attempt, where he was on for a session best? First sector. He's going to have a crack now, so that's right on board with him for this attempt. He's got his teammate up the road from him. And I believe that might be John. Is it John Gallen? No, it's not Gallen. Oh, it's Ryan Mueller. It's Ryan Mueller, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake, it's unfortunate. We would have been in wet conditions, but we got to play with the balls that we've been handed. So, can't always pick them.
Yep, they land in your lap, and that's what you keep.
Pretty much, yeah.
The lads out there are doing a great job either way. The 2 fast boys are the only ones in the 21s at the moment. Morgan is 0.082, so he's not too far off. But it seems like a mile, doesn't it? Those 2 seconds.
Yeah, he's got the pace to get this thing into the 21s. It's whether he can find the right run. I have a feeling, I don't know if he's pushing too hard on this lap. I think he might be going for an attempt the next lap as he follows his teammate. So he might be hoping that Ryan...
Everyone's gone all the yellows now.
Yep. So
there's no one really setting it alight. We've got under 2 minutes left.
This will be the last attempt for Will Morgan in qualifying to challenge James Scott at the front of the field. Has Blake Warboys got anything in his locker as well for his final attempt at qualifying too? He's not going to get one more in. This is it. This is his last lap. I don't think he actually has enough time left on the clock.
Oh, yes, because we've got the full split going.
So this is it for Blake Warboys. He's going to just miss out by around about 10 seconds on another lap in qualifying. It was a 1:21.79. He knows that's it as well. He knows that's it. James Scott, can he go any better on his attempt? He's on all oranges, so it's not looking like an improvement for him as he runs down towards the start-finish line. Billy Mole goes P3, 1:22.04.
Well
Scott
done.
does not go any better. Lawford has lost it at the back end of the circuit. So Lawford now can't challenge.
Will Morgan have enough to do
Yeah.
anything here?
Buchanan's had a good run through the second sector. Has he gone any better? No. It's a 1:22.72.
Mueller's all greens.
Mueller
in the
is all
second section.
greens. So he could maybe challenge for row 2. Possibly Morgan's gone green in the third. But he's the same, if not worse, in sector 1 and 2. So we'll see what the lap times look like as we run down towards the line for the PER boys and the Camaros. Mueller across the line. What's the time for him? It hasn't counted. Morgan's, he's gone 1:22.9. So he got the 1:21. So he got the 21 out of it as qualifying comes to an end. So what a debut it could be now for Will Morgan in his first race in SRW. He has a second row start, P3 on the road, starting alongside Billy Mole. This is going to be exciting for both of these races now and how this plays out for them. Starting grid, though, for race number 1. James Scott will start pole alongside Blake Warboys on the front row. Will Morgan and Billy Mole will then start on the second with Andrew Rushworth and Angus Lawford for your top 6. Troy Stone Street makes up the top 7. Will Buchanan starts pole for the Pro-Ams in P8 on the road. Ryan Mueller, Chris Burridge, then make up the top 10 with Stephen Banks and Stefan Lawrence for our top 12 here this evening in qualifying, with Alan Dawson starting ahead of Dylan Gray, with Trav Daly and Ben Brook for your top 16. Jason Douglas and Troy Dooley for the top 18, with Andrew Cowan and Jacob Traynor the top 20. Adrian Mills on debut will start alongside Jeremy Bush for your top 22, with Peter Baxter and Mitch Noble for the top 24. As we look back to Greg Sharp, Peter Pavlovic, Jack Alisi, Blake Urquhart and Darren Crosby at the back of the field.
Can we shut up? The boys concentrate. He's apologised again.
So,
all right,
we'll
here we go.
We'll, of course, have the second screen running. We've got Jace Douglas and Andrew Cowan's POVs as well for their cameras. So those boys letting us into their world a little bit. 30 seconds till the lights go up for race 1 this evening. Warboys and Scott will be on the front row. The X Factor of Will Morgan, the unknown for us here in the booth. Cinco, I wonder if he's known the world over and we have just been living under a rock, or if this guy is just a hidden gem amongst.
Got the second camera on Jace Douglas in the middle of the pack.
Very good. He told me. He told me today, Cinco, after the broadcast on Sunday, he's been sucked into listening to "Living on the Edge" by Aerosmith. So he must resonate with, he must resonate with those lyrics as the lights go up for race 1 here this evening, and the scramble towards turn 1 begins again. It's a great start from Stone Street further back. A horrid start from Rushworth and Lawford as Scott leads us round turn 1. Mole's gotten past. It's big contact and big moments at 1 as drivers are bashing doors already. A multitude of cars are off the road and they're just trying to scramble for position early on. Buchanan's dropped a couple of spots. Scott gets passed by Warboys for the lead down at turn 4. So Warboys leads. Scott, Mole, Mueller, Morgan the 5, Banks, Rushworth, Gray, Lawrence and Douglas for your top 10. Douglas rocketed off the start sinker, up 7 at the moment.
Yeah, you got a great little start. Oh, a little bit of love there from Scott. I will have to watch the overtake later on, but it was a gutsy move there by Blake Warboys. And these boys are going to be out there tooth and nail all night tonight, and you're going to see two of the best guys out there. They'll be up in there. We know that they're phenomenal drivers. Some of the best drivers in Australia drive these guys, so it's going to be spectacular watching these two at the front of the grid.
It will indeed.
The back of the grid's looking spectacular as well. Great driving everywhere.
Yeah, so Warboys leads the way to James Scott, Billy Mole. There's Ryan Mueller and Will Morgan behind them. Stephen Banks makes it 3 PR cars abreast there. Oh, but speak too early. Dylan Gray's gone round. And he's made contact with, I think that was
right
Stefan
guys.
Morris and Alan Dawson. And it's massive banking up at the final corner.
They've gone straight into him.
And
now he's gone around as well.
Oh, and I gotta be honest, Sinker. This right here, looking a little bit amateur from some of these pro-ams and pros. I mean,
that was the worst thing about it was the race controls called it. Caution last corner, caution last corner. The guys that come there, that was white line fever there. There was an incident there. I think it was Dooley had a bit of a run off there. He's called 333. He's called that in. I think he was the one that bogged it down on the start in the back.
Yeah, so you'll see back there. There's Rushworth and Lawford bogging it up. As the drivers scramble to one, round goes Stone Street. Buchanan had to take evasive action across turn 2. And just a schmozzle of moments. And then up ahead, it was Warboys who lined himself up for the pass off the exit of turn 2. It was a great effort from him.
And Scott had to tuck him behind him, otherwise he's going to lose the spot there from Billy Mole, because Billy Mole would have gone in underneath him.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, what's in the water for the PR boys? It's like someone's out of giving the Pelicans a blue pill. They're everywhere.
They are.
They're bred like crazy.
I know. So let's watch this back through. So this was the battle up the front whilst all the carnage was happening. So Scott tucks in the lead, crosses the exit of turn 1-2, and then Warboys gets the run up the inside towards turn 3.
Great exit, Warboy.
It was a fantastic exit from Warboys.
Lovely little squeeze there by James Scott, and you look behind. Billy Mole was just waiting the whole time for something to happen to get his known in there as well. And Ryan Mueller, Billy Mole again side by side, only a couple of tenths between them.
So NFA lap 1, turn 1 as well. This was Troy Dooley down at turn 8. He got spun round by Ben Brook there. A couple of drivers having to take evasive action as well. And then look, and then this was the big sort of track block moment for us down at the final corner. So Dylan Gray loses the rear end, goes around. Douglas is trying to pass Lawrence. He had nowhere to go. Both the right cars go round. And then further back, it is just a pure schmozzle down there. Drivers getting caught out left, right, and centre. And they're just trying to find anywhere to go.
Look at that. Oh, my God, guys. Just slow it down and try to get around the... Oh, well, that's a learning curve for those boys, that's for sure. There we've got Billy Yang Mole and Ryan Ying Mueller driving around each other. Ryan is like 18... 2 tenths behind him at the moment, putting pressure on like crazy. Looks like we missed it during watching that. We missed James Scott taking the lead from Blake Warboys, so there must have been a little bit of a swap at some point while we were watching that carnage unfold.
In fact, it was the last thing that happened. Warboys ran it wide. The second last corner, then James Scott just he pulled it in straight away. He pulled a James slot up the inside there on him, so he just got it down. But yeah, that was a big moment. Down at the final corner, of course, that cost a couple of drivers. There's been a couple more off track further back as well. Alan Dawson, Adrian Mills still getting caught out together as well. So it's a big test for some of these drivers. They're not used to driving around a couple of these boys as well. So it's all learnings for them as Brooke is dropping down the order, and I have a feeling he may have dropped out due to internet issues possibly. As Sharp's over the radio as well.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's him that's having issues. I'm going to go to Benjamin down there because they're having a great little fight down the back there, just a few rows back. Having a lot of fun. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars very close to each other, and he's just getting a move done on him by Chris Burridge.
So there's a lot of chatter out there in our live chat about the moments that happened on lap 1, Sinker, and pretty much all we can do is call it as it is. It was, it was definitely a crash. And definitely just silly. It was definitely a crash, and it was definitely silly. So we'll see how they sort themselves out.
It's unfortunate too because the two guys that came round just lost their rear ends.
Yeah.
But with a tight field like this, you got 3 tenths, 4 tenths amongst each other. The smart one slows down. The others keep going.
So Lawford and Douglas still continue their battle as well. Douglas has had a great start to this race, up 7 spots. Lawford's down 3 after it can only be described as his atrocious start where he bogged it down on the start line. Hopefully he can get a better run throughout this race and off the start of race 2 as well. Will Buchanan's back
Douglas
up to where
is
he
just off the
started.
rear end.
There goes Douglas as well, off the road. So it's struggle street for some of these drivers, it seems, and they're just trying to find their footing at this point of the race.
Tell you what, though, look at this. Benjamin Brooks, Chris Burridge is the cork, because it's got Benjamin Brooks, Dylan Gray, Travis Daly, Mitch Noble all behind him. Jace Douglas has just fallen off that pack, and Peter Baxter's hunting him down now.
So
At the front, 310s, Blake Warboys is hunting James Scott like crazy. They are only a couple of tenths apart. Warboys is wanting tonight, but he can just feel it in the air that he wants tonight.
He does. He wants it. He wants his home win, I think, for Blake. I mean, this one will be sweeter than any other he could possibly get, I would say, winning it at his home circuit. If he get this job done, it would be an immense feeling for him. And he's hot on the heels of James Scott at the moment. As we ride on board with Dylan Gray, we can see it from the external view in the bottom camera, and then the onboard view as well. And as he continues to apply this pressure, he still hasn't actually gotten a PR race suit yet, has Dylan. Still running the old DK Motorsport colours on his race suit at the moment. He has made contact with Ben Brook, and round goes the Frog Leap Juice Racing driver. We'll see what race control say about it. But that there, controversial as ever, and it continues on.
Yeah. Burridge is doing a great job there too.
He's a little bit further up the road. He's got his teammate Trav Daly now putting the pressure on Dylan Gray in behind. So this battle for the back end of the top 10. This is all for provisional pole of race 2, which currently sits with Burridge. He's in P10 at this stage. Lawford has now started to break away from him. Of course, with Jace Douglas spinning around, it's given him some breathing room as well. At the front, James Scott only just leading to Blake Warboys, so he's hanging out with him. Here's Sinker. Warboys is not letting him run away with it just yet.
No, not at all. Their times, the last laps, 122.478 for James Scott and 122.43. So only 3 100s in that.
Ready for this. This is the big list rundown. Car 80 drive-through penalty, incident responsibility, contact on lap 1, turn 9. Drive-through penalty, car 52, Dylan Gray, failure to hold brakes. Contact lap 1 at turn 12 as well. So Dylan Gray's going to have to come in for that drive-through. For the moment at the final corner where he forgot to hold brakes, it seems.
And who was the other one?
I've now...
Rain's gone blank.
Car 80 it was, so Ben Brook.
Benjamin Brooks. Creating contact, causing a spin. But he's had a bit of an incident on his own now. So where's he gone down? Benjamin Brooks gone all the way down.
He hasn't towed. I think he had a blinking issue.
He's dropping in and out at the moment. But
yep.
Here we go.
Oh, Greg Barber over the radio.
52 has also got himself a drive-through for causing contact
with Ben Brook, I would say.
Yeah,
most likely. So he's now going to have to traverse through the lane twice over, and you'd have to argue that's Dylan Gray. You'd have to argue that is now race done for Dylan Gray. He's going to have to drive through twice now. And with 10 minutes left, he's going to be at the back of the field and nowhere to go. As Ben Brook,
I'm tipping at the moment, Angus Lawford's going to stay roughly around 10th and 9th as a strategy. To get himself in the front of the grid for the reverse top 10.
Yep, I would agree.
With 9 minutes to go.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point, you get a couple more points of pushing forward, but better to start at the front where there's less cars around you than starting further back where you could possibly, again, get elbowed through. He just needs to maximise that race start, and then he'll be in a much better scenario than what he was at the start of lap 1. So, Barb's over the radio again. Let's watch it listen out this time.
767-821. No further action.
Okay. That's Greg Sharp. And then,
I've got the 2 legends on the bottom screen if you want to have them on, so people can see how these guys are going as they go through 767 and car 88. I had the wrong number. No further action. So for those of you who are viewing, no further action can mean a number of things. 50-50 responsibility.
It could mean that
or just the non-event as well.
Could also be self-inflicting, and you don't want to further penalise someone who's now been penalised for their own mistake. Yep, Brendan makes a good point too. No strat racing here. They're trying to push as far as they can in that Project 36. Although I would make the claim then as well that their aim was P2 last season, but they weren't willing to push for P1. So that was a strat game as well. But no, I know that Angus would be wanting to fight this car to push it as far forward as he can and try and do Brendan Griffiths and the team as proud as possible. So he'll be chasing down Will Buchanan. These guys are, both teams have got a shared relationship of RER and Project 36. We'll see if they start battling or if they may even work together to chase down Banksy and Rushworth here, Cinco.
Yeah. That would be the way to do it, definitely. Banksy's having a very quiet race, a very good race. He's up 5 places.
Quite achiever.
Sitting in 6th.
Yeah, quite achiever.
Yeah.
So.
Mitch Noble up 12, Peter Pab up 11, Blake Urquhart up 12.
He's just ahead of Greg Sharp. Look at this little train that Sharpie's got behind him as well. Bush, Dawson, Mills, Traynor all involved in this one as well. They got Dooley chasing them down at this stage. Our championship was different. Okay, I see. Okay, but the front runners are doing well together. Billy Mole at the moment getting the one up over his rival Ryan Mueller, who's got backup all of a sudden in Will Morgan. So Mole, who's had backup from Troy Stone Street the last few seasons, all of a sudden it goes from Mole with Troy Stone Street as his valet taking on Ryan Mueller to now Ryan Mueller with his valet Will Morgan taking on Billy Mole with his valet Troy Stone Street. So
3 Pelicans in a row there: Mueller, Morgan, and Banks. It sounds like a law firm.
Mueller and Morgan.
Out of that old movie from what's it called, Trading Places.
Oh yes.
Jeez, I'm an old bastard. Look it up. Great movie, people. Trading Places. Eddie Murphy. Down the back, Greg Sharp's got a lot of pressure there from Jeremy Bush, Alan Dawson, Jacob Traynor. They're having a lot of fun down the back as well. As in all our races, there's battle packs up and down the field everywhere. Everyone having a crack. Every minor position is a position that you're fighting for, because you've always got that person that's up ahead of you on the track that you always want to beat. So you always got to push that little bit harder.
Yeah, you've always got someone to fight on circuit. Greg Barber has just hopped into the safety car. Well, we're about to have 5 minutes to go, so it might be that there's no more safety cars. Maybe that's why he's jumping into it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe he's just getting warmed up for a bit of a warm up because he was out in the wet before and hasn't tried the dry yet.
Quite possibly he could be at this stage of the race as well. So, but we see on the bottom screen, we're about to go on the big view of it as well at the moment. Before or after Alan Dawson tries to get this job done on Jeremy Bush for P18 on the road. He's not quite close enough just yet. Jacob Trainor's still hot on his heels. James Scott, though, is feeling the pressure from Blake Warboys at the front of the field at the moment. P1 on the road for Scott, P2 for Warboys at this stage. Their battle looks to continue on for the next 5 minutes. We'll see if Warboys can get past Scott or if he'll hope to just solidify some solid points next to his name here at the end of it before starting on the 5th row for race number 2.
There's the Chev versus Mustang in the front here. This is for all bragging rights for brands as well as competitors.
Drivers over the radio.
Chase Douglas has just called something.
He's been off track. Let's see why. So he had Mitch Noble on his outside. Well, Mitch got it a bit loose, and then there was a bit of a door.
Yeah, so gave him the door, right?
It might just be a redress from Mitch Noble there. I mean, there's still a position astern, so it's a pretty easy fix. Just redress position and keep on going.
Yeah.
But these battles will continue on all throughout the night. We've still got race 2 to come your way. Another 20-minute heat here for the Warren Brown Tools Bet Supercars series on offer for you.
Reverse top 10.
Reverse top 10.
Chris Burridge is on the front row with Angus Lawford at the moment. So it's going to be a nice tight one as well.
Yeah, we'll see how it pans out. He's no slouch. He's definitely got some pace next to him. He got a podium last week. I think he actually got the win in the Pro-Am class. So He's definitely got something about him, got something in his locker as well, NFA for car 10 and car 099. So they've determined that either both were at fault or that it just wasn't an issue for Noble and Douglas. They've kept it going, so not too long left to go though on the timing clock for race 1. So the front runners, James Scott, Blake Warboys. I mean, we're going to be seeing these guys go tooth and nail week in and week out, Sinker. We know this. They've been battling for a long time. They're becoming the front pack rivals that we have known them to be, which has previously been Warboys and Leonage. Now it's Warboys and Scott. And Rehan, unfortunately, hasn't been getting as much racing in here in SRW as of late. So hopefully when we get to the next season of the Sunday series, or who knows, maybe even the Tuesday series, he comes racing with us in Split 1. And
been busy with real road racing and athletics, so I think I'm expecting him back this weekend for the V8 Supercar Championship on Sundays.
I'd say he definitely would be. So 2.5 minutes left, 2 laps, I would say. Thanks. See, Sinker, we're just becoming in sync at this point. We're like twins. We just end each other's sentences.
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumbest, you mean? Alan.
Blake's still sitting in that 3 tenths to 4 tenths behind James Scott, not giving him any breathing room at all. He's making sure he doesn't make any mistakes at all. I think Blake had that one little wide exit on the second last corner, and Scott jumped him straight away, and Blake's waiting for the return now.
I don't know why, Sinker, as you started that point then. I don't know why. My brain automatically went to you were talking about Blake Urquhart, and I was really confused when you said James Scott. So I'm like, oh, no, yeah, it's Blake Warboys. That's right.
It's Danny Warboys.
This is what happens when we go later than what we're supposed to. This is what happens when it's extended.
Oh, that was so close. Under brakes, I thought that Jeremy Bush is going to give him a bit of extra love there and use that target from the locked-on lads onto his bonnet.
There should be 1 lap to go when the leaders cross the line next time by. So we're going to go 15 laps in race 1 this evening.
Have a look at the bottom. Blake Warboys is right up the cracker there. He is really pushing these last few corners, putting as much pressure as he can.
Baxter and Urquhart have come together, and they're both going slow. And now they're dropping positions as well. So I don't know how that's occurred between them, because all of a sudden they were just going slow. And now they're dropping, so unless they've copped slow down.
Crossing the line.
Final lap for the leaders, James Scott and Blake Warboys. So 1 go around again as Barney waves the white flag. He found some dry clothes as well to put on.
All these guys are getting a bit roughy.
They are indeed.
Baxter and Urquhart. Urquhart's got it around him. He's got it, but who's that beside him?
Stefan Lawrence and Troy Dooley. So both. Lawrence shoves it up the inside. Couldn't.
Dooley. I think Dooley gave a bit of extra love there. He gave him a bit of a wiggle.
So this battle looks to heat up. Further up the road as well, Buchanan's hot on the heels of Rushworth. This is for P7. Buchanan leading the Pro-Am class at the moment. And then further back, we've got Chase Douglas chasing down Mitch Noble. And then Jeremy Bush still hot on the heels of Greg Sharp. But your race leaders at the moment, James Scott and Blake Warboys, are going to lead the pack around on this final lap with only a couple of corners to go as they traverse turn 10 and run down towards 11 and 12. It looks to be James Scott's race to win at this stage. 1 opportunity to make a mistake, he doesn't. He keeps it clean through the second to last corner. And then around the final corner this time by, James Scott will take the win in race number 1 this evening as Warboys slots it home in P2. And a bit further back, Billy Moe will make it a double podium for WKMP Sim Sports. Ryan Mueller and Will Morgan and Stephen Banks will make it 3 PER cars in a row for P4, 5 and 6. Andrew Rushworth of Apex Esports League gets ahead of Will Buchanan, with Angus Lawford and Chris Burridge will make up the top 10. These drivers will get reversed on the grid for their starting order of race number 2. Trav Daly, Jace Douglas has finally gotten past Mitch Noble, Peter Pavlovic, and then Greg Sharp was to come across the line ahead of Jeremy Bush, Alan Dawson, Jacob Traynor, and continue
Those
their battle
last
on.
four, they've been up and around each other all night.
They have.
Really mixing it up. Good to see. What a cracking race that was.
Drag race to the line for Urquhart and Lawrence. It was 700ths of a second between them. 10-point post-race penalty to car 778 for
Like
contact
Urquhart.
on lap 14, turn 3. So Urquhart has been determined to be at fault for that one. Dooley and Baxter and Dylan Gray, Adrian Mills, Andrew Cowan, Troy Stone Street, Ben Brook, and then Jack Alisi still to finish this one. And unfortunately for Jack, so far down the order, he may be on his way to split 2 in a couple of weeks' time. But we'll see how he goes in race 2 and across round 3 as well.
Yeah, that was some really good racing out there. The boys at the front, they were literally not more than 3/10 to 4/10. Oh, there's rain. There is rain. This could be what we wanted. What's the weather report say? Let's have a look.
Wow. Wowee. Well,
there we go.
Well,
That
ladies,
actually worked out perfect.
that worked out pretty well because we now get some rain for race 2.
Wet race. That's exactly what.
Oh my
Victoria
God.
done.
So, oh my Lord, how has that played out so perfectly for us?
Yeah, it's cloudy, mostly cloudy, overcast, mostly cloudy. So it's now.
It's fairly light.
2:31 on the clock.
Yeah, it's fairly light at the moment, Greg.
Yeah, so it's going to last for 30 minutes. It might be a light race for the whole race.
Sinker, click on the zoom box for a second. I just want to see how it looks closer to the circuit. Oh, this is going to be... yeah, we're going to be in for some wet racing. We are going to be in for some wet racing.
That's going to be crazy. This is going to be fun. But it's going to be good fun. The 2:31, it's got overcast 100%. And then 15 minutes later, it goes to 49%. And then it's dropping off after the half-hour mark. So
and there's already fishtails as well. So
yeah, it'll be a wet race.
It will be wet. And now
See, this is what I call racing in Victoria: dry to start, wet to finish, or wet to start, dry to finish.
Since we're so close to 10 o'clock, I'm going to pull this one out. So the drivers who've just raced in the dry, I'm sure their reaction, Cinco, they're probably not as elated as we are, because we're quite excited now. But I reckon they've come into pit lane after that dry race. They've seen this rain and they've just pulled off the...
What the hell is even that?
And are they now prepared for what is to come in race 2? Because, oh my God,
this is gonna be cool.
It is. I mean, you know what? I reckon Cowie now has just lucked in.
There's boys out there going bareback. They're going dry. They're looking at and testing it to see how wet it is. It's going to get drier as it goes.
Yeah,
but
no, it's only going to get wetter because the rain's still falling.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, but it's. I think wet is your only option. Anyone who's out there in the dry at the moment I reckon, is killing themselves.
Well, it's only going to get wetter, so I think for the race start, they're probably going to. It's the safest option is going to be on wets. But the rain looks a little bit spotty, but looking at the radar, it's going to be continuing for the majority of this second race. So we are in for one hell of a game changer now with the rain showing up for split 1. We thought it was going to be torrential.
There's a lot of guys out there dry still.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
The only one out there on wet is Jace Douglas.
James Scott's just done a 27.6, but I don't know how reflective that is of his actual pace, but that says to me that it is too wet for dries. If he is 7 seconds slower than his fastest dry time, it is wet tyre weather. That's what that says to me. Now, Cowie said it said 70% chance of rain, but at the start of the event it said 9 when they joined the server. Well, we've obviously found when it was set to 70%, and it was the start of race 2. So, will this now? I don't think this is going to lead to more chaos than what we had at the start of race 1 of the evening of Split 2, with that real torrential rain where it was, pulled up. I think.
We've got no more time left.
No.
The question is, I haven't seen War Boys out there yet. What's he going to come out on? What are the?
I think he'll start wet.
His cards close to his chest.
Yeah, I think he'll start wet. Yep. He'll play the safe game.
He hasn't gone out on purpose so that James Scott doesn't see what he's doing.
Yep. He's played that.
Trainer on wets is gone all the way up the top.
I also guarantee you, Blake's going to wait till the final couple of seconds of the grid timer to join the grid.
Yeah,
because he doesn't want to give James any sort of indication. It is.
This is what I love about all this. It's just it just makes it so much more fun.
So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised now if we are literally waiting till 5 seconds to go for Blake Warboys to get onto the grid, because he's going to leave it so there's not enough time for James Scott to get into pit lane and change tyres. Now the rain looks heavier. So I would say the safe bet for James is just start on wets. Just start on wets. I don't think Blake's going to start on dries. Put those wets on, see what happens. I'd say the majority of the field's probably going to start on wets, so we'll see how it pans out. But the starting grid will be as follows. Chris Burridge will start pole alongside Angus Lawford on the front row. Will Buchanan, Andrew Rushworth for your top 4. Stephen Banks, Will Morgan for the top 6. Ryan Mueller, Billy Mole for your top 8, with Blake Warboys, James Scott the top 10. Everyone else will start how they finished in race number 1 with Trav Daly, Jason Douglas on the 6th row. As we move back to Mitch Noble, Peter Pavlovic, Greg Sharp, Jeremy Bush, Alan Dawson, Jacob Traynor, Blake Urquhart, Stefan Lawrence, Troy Dooley, Peter Baxter, Dylan Gray, Adrian Mills for your top 24, with Andrew Cowan, Troy Stonestreet, Ben Brook and Jack Alisi at the back of the field.
Here we go. Let's watch. I've got my camera on War Boys. And it's still showing the pits.
The
Burridge is out on wets.
I'm telling you now.
Mitch Noble out on dries.
Oh, wow.
Looks like your 2 new teammates haven't given you the heads up, mate.
He hasn't. It appears he took his strategy plans with him, Sinker, it seems. So
Will Buchanan's on dries as well.
Wow.
Whoa.
Interesting choice.
Well, let me tell you guys, if you're listening, it's going to be wet. The race is going to be wet. It's not going to. It's the rain is going to peter off, but the track's going to be wet still.
30 seconds. And Warboys and Scott.
Bring the spice out. A mixture of dry and wet tyres. A lot of guys leaving it to the last second.
Warboys is on wets. Warboys is on wet tyres. James Scott is on dries. So this is now.
This is what we're talking about.
One of them's going to be right. One of them's going to be wrong. And that's going to be the decider now on who's going to challenge for this race win, because one of them's going to have to come through pit lane.
On wets and Lawford on dries. Will Buchanan on dries. Andrew Rushworth on dries. With the clock's ticking, take a big deep breath, Hamish. Here we go.
So lights are up as we scramble to turn 1 once again. Who is picked it right at the start of this race? And I tell you who it's not. It's not James Scott. He is dropping down the order like it's nobody's business on those dry tyres. And as they run round turn 1, 2, they look to get it through nice and clean. But for James, he bogged it off that start line.
We're going to spin it down the back.
Oh, we do too. It's Peter Baxter. Spun round. Troy Stonestreet and Andrew Rushworth as well as off the track as well.
Dry tyres, he's all the way down the back.
Yeah.
All the way down the back.
He is indeed. So Burridge leads. Buchanan is with him. Both of these guys are on different tyre compounds. Lawford's on the dries as well. Banks on the wets. We'll get those tyre compounds on the actual display for you too, and we bring up the timing tower so we can keep track of it. Because at the moment,
this has spiced it right up. Have a look at the bottom screen.
Yeah, this is...
The mid-packs are still going too wide. There's a combination of dry tyres and wet tyres there. Dry tyres, Lawford is slipping back as well. He's getting done. Will Buchanan is still doing well. He's on second place with the dries. But how long will that last? I don't think a lot.
Oh, he's run it wide at turn 10. So he's struggling for that grip. Mitch Noble's run it wide as well. He's on those dry tyres. So you've got to predict guys like James Scott and co are going to have to come in for dries, because look at this. Dylan Gray looks to pass him like it's nothing on those wets.
Yeah, that was yeah. I don't know why. I know that Barbs did say that again.
Through.
It's only going to rain 5 minutes.
Oh,
but
Will
this
Morgan and
truck is
Jace
right.
Douglas, sorry to interrupt, off the road. And Jace Douglas has got massive damage on that Triple S car.
Is he going to be able to control it through the corner? Yes, he is. It might slow him down a little bit and give him more downforce. Burridge on the wet has just set the fastest lap, 141.966. Warboys already up into 4th place behind Billy Mole and behind Stevie Banks. Oh,
So that there looks like, to me, that there looks like Jace Douglas's fault. Because he looks to have actually squeezed Will Morgan off the road. I mean, he had nowhere to go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Looks like Will Morgan was pretty much going straight.
We'll see what race control say. Man, what a way, and what a somehow Cowie's locked us in now. Lucked us in, I should say, to probably a more interesting prospect than what we were actually going to have with the wet weather, because now it's come down to the decision-making skills.
Here we go. It's opened.
Oh, had a big old drop. We're back though. That's fine.
Oh, geez. Code Brown then. Mr. Brooks, it's going to ease quickly. It's going to the rain will ease only to 50%, but it's still going to be wet. These tracks don't dry up that quick in iRacing.
Pav's off as well. Burridge sets another fastest lap of the race, 132.95. Warboy's
Cannon's off too.
Yep, Warboy's now behind his teammate in P3 on the road.
I think it's time to do a swap there. I think it's time for Billy to let Blake get in front. And, James Scott,
he doesn't have the grip.
You know what? He's battling it. He's still in 9th. It's not a bad result. He's going to get whatever points he can out of it, which is the most important for him for the title. Get what points you can.
He does not want to take a pit stop if he can. He wants to keep this car inside of the top 10. But he's dropping fast, so the wetter that this circuit gets, the worse it's going to be for James Scott.
Look at the pack he's driving around.
I know.
Oh, he's doing well. He's the only one on James Scott. Angus Lawford's behind him and drives as well. So them two are together. It's you know what? Maybe we should drive in the wet and have James Scott on the dries every race, so that he's got to do this battle with it. You know, that brings it back to the level. Look at him drifting this car. Look at him. Oh, he's struggling big time, man. He's in damage control at the moment.
Yeah, so on the timing tower, if you're wondering, drivers with the black ring next to their number means that they're on dry tyres. The blue ring means that they're on wets. So the whole of the top 10 are on the wet tyre. The top-seeded car on dries is Angus Lawford at this stage. Drive-through penalty car 044, that's
44.
Stone Street. That was the contact with Peter Baxter.
Okay. Yeah, Stoney's down the back anyway.
Yeah, and Will Morgan now trying to get past Daly. So wets are definitely the option. They're definitely the preferred choice at the moment, because it is proving in the pace of the field and proving in how clean they can be. Warboy sets the fast lap of the race, 131.91. Mueller tries to seg it up the inside of his rival Mole down at turn 4, and as they run through 5, he gets the job done and is now up onto the podium as well. NFA for car 553 and car 40, lap 1, turn 3 as well. So that was with Andrew Rushworth and co down there.
All right, so the rain in the next 8 minutes is going to drop to 25%.
But it's still going to be raining, so it means the track's not going to be drying.
So it's going to be raining. It's still going to be wet no matter what.
So Warboys has now got a 2.4 second gap to gain to get up to the back end of Chris Burridge's car. Ryan Mueller's 1.3 seconds back with Billy Mole in there with him. Banksy's back up into P5.
Blake will do it. He's over 5/10 faster.
Yeah, he's definitely got that pace.
Yeah.
That's how long it takes him. Dylan Gray's at the back of this battle pack, and then you see Stefan Lawrence.
Mate, this is going to throw the title fight into a frenzy.
Well, it might be that this is now, even with a race win, this might be an early drop round for James Scott, depending on what he can pull out of this race.
Yep.
So this has really thrown the cart amongst the pigeons, and really thrown a spanner into the works for us. If we can get any more cliches out of it, we would.
Stefan Lawrence, Dylan Gray up 17 place. Stefan Lawrence up 13 places. He's swapping with Jason Douglas at the moment. They're having a little ding dong in the back there.
Oh, James Scott's in. James Scott's in, so he's determined that he needs wets. So NFA as well in that moment with Will Morgan and Jace Douglas. I'm not surprised, really. It was just one of those things. So Scott's had to pull in.
Travis Daly's gone in as well behind.
Yeah. Scott's gone to those wets. He will now rejoin the circuit. So he's going to have some work to do. He'll need to hope for a safety car to really get back into this race.
Which is a possibility, definitely, with this amount of cars on track and the fact that we've still got he's aquaplaning.
Oh, Bush and Elise make contact.
Oh, bit of contact there.
Barbs has seen it, and he's going to check it out, so we'll see what the go is.
Yeah, he hasn't. There's Bush is just calling that in now. Angus Lawford on the wets, he hasn't come on the dries. He hasn't come in 13th place, down 11 places.
Ooh,
yeah, I reckon that
might be on Bush.
Might be on Jeremy on his own there.
Yeah, because
coming across.
Yeah, because Jack's got the right of way. He's on the inside. And I think Jeremy's just cut him off.
To go.
Yeah, he's nowhere to go. It's either you go on the grass or contact's made. So it's.
Have a look at the bottom screen. Blake Warboys is now 9/10 on the back of there. This is just going to make the series light up. The battle between James Scott and Blake Warboys is going to be, every single round is going to be for points. It's going to be critical. No matter if they have a bad round or a good round, they've got to maximise points.
So I reckon now Cowie needs to set it up like this every week. I reckon this is the weather we should have for split one every single round. Just throw the spanner in the works for us.
Love it. Jack Alsey is off. He's back on track now. Blake Warboy's just set up fastest lap of the 1:31.910.
Yeah,
He's now 5/10. Where is James Scott? James Scott is on the wets at the moment, and
he's up at turn
flying.
2.
He's got a bit of clean air, but he's got 11 minutes to fix up the damage control.
Contact with Buchanan and Bush. So what has happened down here? So he was ahead of Jack Alisi. So has there been further contact? Oh, that's a big that is big net code if that's net code, or he's done it on his own.
Yeah, it's on the net code, or is that puddle on the inside got him?
Yeah, I think it almost looked like net code with how aggressively it moved. Warboys though looking to take the lead at turn 3. Job done past Burridge. So he picked the tyre strategy right. He played the safe game and it paid off for him. The gamble wasn't worth it.
Yeah, he just pulled off a 1:31.7 then.
Well, James is not set off a lap yet. He's about to.
Yep.
So he's just coming around down towards the final few corners. So we'll see what lap James Scott does when he crosses the line. But this has really spiced it up for us in determining what the right tyre selection was in this race here this evening. The only drivers left out there on dry tyres include Angus Lawford, Greg Sharp, Will Buchanan, as well as Troy Stoneshooters out of this race. So everyone else is on the wets. James Scott last lap was a 1:33.43, but he was dealing with a little bit of traffic, so
yeah,
he's got some work to do. But he's not going to chase down Blake, I don't think, with
he won't,
9 minutes to go. There's no way.
He's got to maximise his points. That his pace that he's doing at the moment, 33s. He'll get that down to mid-32s, and then he's got about... he'll have 6/10 on most of the guys in front of him, so he's going to make it through quickly, but he's probably only going to make it through to about, I'd guesstimate probably just out of the top 10, maybe like 13th where Cowie is or something like that.
Quite possibly, but I mean, 9 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to get there? I mean,
well, he's going to do 1.5. He's only going to get 4.5 laps in. 5 laps tops. So
yeah,
he's only managed to get up the field. Oh, look, he's only going to be around 17, 16.
He might, he
Maybe
might
he's going to get back around Angus Lawford.
Yeah, but Lawford, if he commits to pitting, there's a free position, which he's gone off track again. He is committing to pitting, so that's a position for James.
Yep.
So he's got to gain, what is it, like 5 seconds up to Ben Brook, which is doable.
Yeah.
But then you've also got to be able to get past the guys up ahead of him. And Peter Baxter's 6.8 seconds ahead of Jack Alesi alone. So I don't even think James Scott can traverse that sort of an uphill climb, as Greg Sharp is in the pits as well.
Warboys is now starting to get up to the back traffic. So he is behind. I think it's...
Might be Mitch Noble. It's Mitch Noble.
No, 25.
It's Mitch Noble. He's P25, Cinco.
Okay, yeah, Mitch Noble. And we know that Mitch can do Mitch things. So please don't hit him, Mitch.
He didn't. He let him go. Luckily.
Still love you, mate, even though you've jumped ship. It's all good.
He defected.
The driving standards tonight have been pretty crazy out there. It's been pretty spectacular.
Ryan Mueller past Burridge as well.
Burridge on Mueller at the moment.
Yeah, Mueller's just gone past, so he's got the job done on Burridge. Can Mole get past him too to make it an all-pro podium here this evening? Plenty of work to be done across the next 7 minutes or so for a couple of drivers out there. Will Morgan in behind his teammate Peter Pavlovic lets him go at this stage. They've got Will Buchanan chasing them down. Morgan gets the job done. Don't worry, Steph. I knew it was Mitch anyway, based on the fact of who had been lapped at that point by Blake.
Oh, what was that?
What?
Did you see on your screen a big cheesy face popped up?
No.
You watch it back in the replay.
Let's have a look. Let me just go back and have a look.
It was like a big emoji in the middle of our screen.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. It had like a pale blue emoji with a crying face.
Ha ha. Funny Cinco.
I'm serious, it was. Anyway, we've got just over 5 minutes left. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification buttons, support the people that support us. Warren and Brown Tools, Shunt Sceneries, Grim Industries, PDD, Phoenix Driver Development, and who have I missed? Miser Racing. These people support us and keep the show going for you guys, so please support them as well.
I've just looked back at the stream sync and I did not see it, so...
Maybe it was just on my screen.
Oh, it's weird.
It might have been something from Discord that went over the top of it.
Oh, maybe, quite possible. I didn't press anything to do that, but... Who knows? Blake Warboys, though, leads the way. Burridge is under pressure right now from Billy Mole. We've got around about 5 minutes to go here in race number 2 this evening. And he's feeling the pressure as Burridge from Mole. I mean, he is pushing on. Further back as well, James Scott has finally caught the back of Ben Brook. He's done a 1:31.32 as his fastest lap. A bit slower that time because he's having to deal with the traffic who were able to battle him for genuine position. Oh my God, I thought there was going to be contact then.
That was very good battling by both of them there. That was really good. Really good driving. Who was that he just passed?
That was Ben Brook.
Ben Brook, great job there, Ben. Put the elbows out, defended nicely. Bottom screen has got Blake Warboys just tearing it up now. He just did the fastest lap again, a 1:31.169. So he is showed that he loves the wet out here, and he is now just under 4 seconds away from Mueller. Mueller has got 2.7 on Burridge, but Burridge has got Billy Mole all over the back of him at the moment, putting some pressure on. And it looks like Jace Douglas needs a bit of rhinoplasty.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's missing that front end after that contact with Will Morgan earlier in the race, but he's kept it going Hasn't dropped too much after that moment as well. Mole, though, is still hot on the heels of Chris Burridge at this stage. And he wants to continue to apply this pressure.
Stopped, but the track is still very wet.
Yeah, I think it's not going to dry out. It's not going to dry out by the end, I don't think.
Yeah.
Even if the rain has stopped, that rooster tail is still fairly big. So,
yeah.
I think Warboys has proved that he's the rain master of Winton for sure.
Maybe that's why he was so disappointed for the first race.
I think he might have been, because he did have pole, so he probably would have thought he had the benefit there in this weather. Maybe that's where he's more attuned to. He's figured out how to get this car set up for the rain, where maybe James Scott hasn't just yet.
Maybe. We do run most of our series on dynamics, so if there's natural rain around, there will be rain. You've seen it in the 86s, in the Super Formula lights as well. And he's ripping it up. The car sounded really good. And we have got what we got. We have got 2.5 minutes left.
About 2 laps for
we say that
James Scott is on a mission. He's on a mission. He is 2.4 seconds away from Peter Baxter, who is 17.2 seconds off the back of Troy Dooley.
Yeah.
So he's going
to. The best he can do, I'd say, is 15.
Yeah, P15.
Yeah.
So I don't think he can gain 17.5 seconds on Troy Dooley unless there's a mistake made, I would say. So best he's going to get is a top 15, which would be a drop round up to this point. He's only taken a race win in race number 1 of the season last week, and then, of course, race number 1 here tonight as well. Race 2 did not go his way. The wrong choice of tyres on the start line went on the dries, and it cost him in this race as well. Since everyone is now on the wets, we can now get rid of our tyre compound checker. And we can continue on.
Jason just called something in. Not sure.
It might be blue flags.
Blue flag in front of him that won't move.
Which Adrian doesn't have to move over. James is...
There's a white flag.
Yeah, white flag for Blake. Jace is not... I mean, he's trying to get past, but he's had to dive it up the inside to get it past him. I mean, Adrian doesn't necessarily have to just give it to him.
Yeah, but he's got to make it a little bit easier than that was. That was still racing him through there. Who did he pass just then?
Adrian Mills, but I
Mills,
mean,
okay,
Adrian let him go under brakes at the corner, one of the easiest spots to do it when you're doing it in racing conditions. 1 to go for Blake Warboys as he traverses up towards the gum tree for the final time. We'll see if he attempts a burnout at the end of this race over on the burnout pad for WKMP Sim Sports.
Wow. Is there an aero strap for Triple S?
Maybe a weight reduction strategy possibly for him.
William Morgan, Alan Dawson and Stefan Lawrence are having a great little tussle at the back there. Morgan's all over the back of Dawson at the moment. But we've got the race winner at the moment, Mr. Blake Warboys. And the unfortunate selection of dry tyres for Mr. James Scott has got him down in 15th place. He has passed Peter Baxter.
Yep, which I'm not too surprised at, to be honest with you. I'm sure Peter probably wouldn't have made that too hard as Blake Warboys traverses the final corner. He'll take his first win of the season here at Winton Motor Raceway in his home race of the season. He takes the win at the front of the field in wet, tricky conditions in race 2, and he'll win the round as well. Ryan Mueller will come home in P2 on the road, with Billy Mole getting up onto the podium, and Chris Burridge, the race winner 2 weeks in a row for the Pro-Ams here this evening. So, you know, we get a chance to talk to Chris once again after last week, Sinkovic. And this week on Tuesday, we now get a chance to talk to Blake as well. So a good night for those guys. I am glad we've limited it to the class winners, because otherwise we'd be here for another half an hour talking to 4 people. So I'm sorry to Billy and Ryan. They miss out on a chat because but you know what? You got to get the win. You get the win and then you get to chat to us. That's the...
And it's already very late for a lot of these people. It's 20 past 10 just about.
Yep.
20 past 10 just about. So spectacular running from all the boys out there. What an epic race. What a surprise. Cowie gave us. Cowie we trust.
They're going straight to the burnout pad as well, Sinker.
They are too.
Blake's already out there.
Here he is. We could have all the boys out there doing burnouts before long. You watch, they're all going to get out there. That's what we love. He's probably having a bit of fun out there as well. Who's out there? Billy Mole.
Ryan Mueller's up there too.
Well.
Dylan Gray. Everyone's going for a burnout.
Mate. That's it. It's good to see them all having fun out there. Maybe we'll have to do another burnout night.
Quite possibly. I want to see them drift around the bowl of it. That's what I want to see. Checkered flag flies for those drivers at the back of the field. But Blake Warboys takes the win here this evening at Winton Motor Raceway. Here, provisional race results for the feature up on your screen now. If it is actually going to show it, it is indeed. Blake Warboys takes the win ahead of Ryan Mueller and Billy Mull on the top three. Chris Burridge will win the Pro-Ams here this evening with Stephen Banks, Dylan Gray, Jace Douglas, Stefan Lawrence, Alan Dawson and Will Morgan for your top 10. Peter Pavlik, Jacob Trainer, Andrew Cowan, Troy Dooley, James Scott makes it back into the top 15. Peter Baxter, Ben Brook, Jack Alisi and Travis Daly for the top 19 cars in the end, with Jeremy Bush, Andrew Rushworth, Mitch Noble, Angus Lawford, Adrian Mills, Will Buchanan, Greg Sharp, Troy Stone Street, Blake Urquhart not finishing this race here this evening. A big thank you has to go, of course, to our RC team as well for continuing to help us go racing and pretend race cars every single week. It's without them that we could not go racing, so it's a massive pleasure to have them on board with us as well. To Greg Barber, Matt Keane, and Sam Katakazinas for being in the RC booth here tonight as well. But it's
in the hot seat.
In the hot seat. It's a congratulations to Blake Warboys and to Chris Burridge as well. We'll wait for them to come and have a quick chat to us. But it all started in the wets here for race 2, where it turned it on for us, and those drivers who made the mistake of starting on dries misses out. Billy Mole's come for a chat, but unfortunately he doesn't get one, so he'll have to win a race to come and have a chat to us this season. We'll start, though, by having a chat to our P1 for the Pro-Am class here this evening, Mr. Chris Burridge of M1 Racing. Chris, congratulations. Another win on the board 2 weeks in a row for M1 Racing and yourself here in Split 1. Mate, you said to us last week you weren't used to talking to us, and all of a sudden you're chatting to us every week.
I'm back again.
Yeah, back again.
There you go.
I'll tell you what, Crosby's going to be smiling from ear to ear.
Yeah, I reckon. Be pretty happy with that one. Yeah. That was a interesting race with the change of rooms and stuff.
Made it a bit more hectic.
Yeah, it did. So I think I did a bunch of wet lap practice. And then all of a sudden it was a dry track, and I was like, I forgot where to brake and stuff. Anyway, but I made it. So that's okay.
Love it. It was how good was it there to actually go from a wet track to a dry track to a wet track?
Yeah, no, that was really cool actually. Thinking at the very end of the dry race, we were thinking, is it going to start raining on the last lap or something? But didn't quite.
It wasn't far off actually. There that you mentioned it, because pretty much as soon as everyone came off track, it started dribbling.
Yep.
It was that would have been interesting. Last lap wet.
It was good fun though. Really good fun. So.
Excellent, mate. Well, mate, congratulations on another podium. It's good to see the season's cracking on for you. Could be definitely total fight on the cards for you. Who gets you on track and supports the fantastic M1 team?
So M1 used cars up in Queensland. Go and see Dazza for a great deal on a used car. And Peggy's Performance Dyno Tune up in the North Territory. There you go.
Excellent, mate. That was awesome, dude. Congratulations and good luck for the rest of the season, mate. Hopefully you'll have many more chats with us.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys.
Cheers, brother.
Next up on the docket, we have got Mr. Daddy Warboys himself, not with his camera here tonight. We're about to cut him off for getting his ear talked off by Cowie. So, Blake, we've saved you from the conversation with Cowie there. I saw him talking away with his hands in front of the rig. But I went on the road for you. I know you were a little bit disappointed when we had to change server because you put the car on pole in the wet, and then we joined the server and it's dry and it's not wet just yet. Then we get to race 2, and me and Sinker took a breath all of a sudden as we got in that warm-up, and I saw the water droplets coming down, and we're like, oh, this has now changed it.
Yeah.
And we were conversing.
I noticed you didn't come out on track, mate. You didn't want to show your cards, mate.
No, when it's like that, you don't want to show, so you wait until like the last minute so no one can change their tyres.
We thought as much, and we were watching the field coming out and dry and wet, and like we were pretty vocal about it because we knew there was going to be at least 15 minutes of rain, and it's tapering off, but doesn't mean the track's going to dry. iRacing tracks don't dry enough in the race line, as far as I'm concerned, on any of the cars we race. But that was it, yeah. When you saw that rain come out, did you just go, yes?
Yeah, well, it was sort of like, oh, it might not get, like, because it was still dry enough for slicks in that warm-up, and then it went to 100% rain for the race. I've got a little trick for, like, it's within iRacing to sort of tell what tyres you need, but I'll keep that secret. Can't give away all the secrets. So I said to the boys, we're going wets. Yeah, and it paid off. But yeah, just keeping the cars ourselves. Thought it might dry, but yeah, as you said, like it takes so long for it to go to an actual dry track. Like I remember doing the Raw at the start of the year, and it wasn't raining, and we stayed on wets for basically the whole race.
Yeah, it's just I think iRacing's just got that model down pat yet, have they?
No, not quite. Like they've got the puddles nice. Like when you hit a puddle, you aquaplane, that feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Like the wet grip, it's a bit hard. Each wheelbase could be slightly different, so I don't know. Like I've got the VRS, so I don't know if it's probably not relying exactly the right feedback for the wet yet. Who knows?
Have you been out in the wet on this track in real life?
No, I've only driven go-karts in the wet, and they've got a lot more grip than this.
Yeah.
So, especially with the new tyres we're on now, they're super soft. So, like, they just grip. It's like you're on a dry track almost, and it can be torrential rain. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's almost like cheating, isn't it?
Oh, a little bit, but they last one race, and you got to try and make them last the whole weekend.
Yeah. So you got to be very on track for your tyre usage and wear and tear and how you throw it around.
Oh yeah, like when we were at Griffith, it rained overnight. I was babying the cart, and I still torched the left rear.
Wow.
So I was lucky it went dry for the next day, but it's just it just shows how soft our tyres are at the moment, which is a bit annoying because they're just not lasting, making it quite expensive. But anyway, back to sim racing.
That's something you don't want because it's supposed to be an entry-level sport. It's supposed to be cheap, which really isn't cheap, is it?
Nah, it hasn't been cheap since a certain motorbike rider got into power. But anyway, we won't go there.
See, Hamish, I told you he's not popular in the go-kart scene. He didn't believe me, but he got his son up there and just dropped the spud and took off, didn't he?
Pretty much. Like, don't get me wrong, probably needed to change the engines, but yeah, I don't agree with the tyres that we're on, especially since they've changed compounds at least 6 times, and they're meant to be the same tyre.
Yeah.
So hopefully next year they're gone. So fingers crossed. But anyway.
Well, mate, it was for me and Hamish. All right, it was a bit tough for you guys swapping rooms and stuff like that, and a few people were disappointed, and then there was happy faces as well. But the racing was absolutely legitimately really good, and the wet was a good surprise for viewers, I guess, and brought another level of the story to the racing. And now it looks like it's going to be an even tighter battle between yourself and James Scott. James finished in 15th there tonight, so it's going to be a long season of battles all the way through.
Yeah, well, I was quite happy with my pace. Like even in qualifying, I could have gone probably 10th and a half quicker in the dry qualifying, so it could have been even closer.
Yep.
So and then just locked that break in that first race, which let James through, and I reckon I could have held him off. Just concentrating on the drive off, but just made that one mistake, which let him through. But if we can keep bridging that gap, getting a bit closer, I reckon it'll be good battle.
Yeah.
He's great to race with, so yeah.
Yeah, he does. He gives space. He's very respectful on track. It's good to see you guys battle together. I think it's just going to be down to those little 1%ers between you and him. By the looking at it, it's there's not much in it at all. Like you're pretty much within three to 4 tenths behind him the whole way around, waiting for him to miss a break marker here or there. And he was pretty much doing the same with you. So it was good to see. I think it's going to be a spectacular season. So viewers out there, don't leave this channel unwanted, mate. You're going to want to watch these battles all the way through, mate. Is Mum and Bub back?
Yeah, Mum and Bub are back. So
did you clean up in time?
Oh, I did some dishes and washing. So yeah, I didn't empty the dishwasher, so she was a bit annoyed at that.
No.
But at least it was clean.
Yeah. Okay. At least that was your excuse. At least it was clean.
Yeah.
Love your work, mate. Listen, great race out there tonight. Spectacular racing. Who gets War Boys out on track, mate?
So WKP Sim Sports, the boys did really well tonight, and so did the M1 guys that were in with us tonight. Chris did really well. Congrats to Chris. Billy on 2 third places. Well done. Wodonga Carts and Parts, Croc Promotion, Carts Australia, Stone Street Plumbing, Super Cheap Auto, and the Super Cheap Group of companies. Cool Guys Adelaide, Barella Cabinets, LGC Images, Dave 37 Racing, All Boys Motorsport, Send It Don't Bend It, Amp Air, M1 Cars, and Pecky's Performance and Dyno Tune.
Excellent, mate. Well, congratulations. Well done, and good luck for the rest of the season, and see you on Sunday night.
Yeah, see you guys.
See you, bye.
Take care, brother.
Yeah.
Well, Hamish, another spectacular night of racing. Unfortunate for James Scott. Tyre selection let him down tonight. War Boys played it smart, holding his cars to his chest at the last minute. The rain brought a new level of excitement for the second race, and we are up starting for a cracking season 2.
Yeah, we are. It's changed the championship order a little bit. Of course, Blake will now lead us out of this round into round 3 next week. Billy Mole's at the pointy end of the championship order, as is Ryan Mueller as well. James Scott will be up there too. So I look forward to next week as well for round 3 of season 2. Coming up this week on your docket for SRW TV, 3 more races to go, or 3 more rounds to go this season, I should say, of round 2. Tomorrow night, for the Moser Racing Super Formula Light Championship, will be out at Fuji Speedway for the Grand Prix circuit in the SFLs. James and Sinker in the booth once again for that one. Toyota GR86s this week will not be live broadcasted. They'll be broadcasted as a replay broadcast on Friday night, 7:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time at Cadwell Park Circuit. James and Sinker in the booth for that one. And then Sunday night, me and Sinker are back again for the Warren Brown Toolsby at Supercars Championship out at Most Sport for round 11 of season 1 of that series as well. So plenty of racing to come your way across 4 days or 3 more days this week as well here in SRW. Plenty of sim racing happening around as well. Our friends over at the GSRC have got some sim racing stuff happening too. So, it'll be interesting to see how they go, especially with their open wheeler series as well. AWN will be coming up at the end of the season, so that'll be a good way for us to keep an eye on how they're going for their series, and then obviously for our series too. So you don't want to miss it, guys. Be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well on the channel if you're new here. If you've been here for a while and you haven't done so, we're 50-odd subscribers away from 1,500, and we'd love to get there before the end of the season as well. Big shout-out to all of our series sponsors, including our title sponsors, Warren & Brown Tools, for their support of the Tuesday Night Supercars Series and the Sunday Night Supercars Championship, to Moser Racing for supporting the Wednesday Night Super Formula Lights Championship, and as well supporting the Australian Open Wheel Nationals for the year of 2025. As well as our other series sponsors, Shunt Scenery, Groom Industries, home of the V8 Coffee Table, which can be found on Prime Video's Top Gear Australia, and as well to Phoenix Driver Development. Be sure to message PDD over on Facebook or Laz and Rehan Leonage on Discord. They'll be sure to set you up with a session for some training or even some setups as well. They make setups and do training for every single supercar and iRacing, from the Gen 3 car all the way back to the 2009 Ford Falcon as well. So there's plenty of opportunity there for you guys. They'll find you a time slot. All of our sponsors have got direct links in the stream description. On all of our stream descriptions, there are direct links to our sponsors, so be sure to support them because they support us and help us go racing. But for myself, Hamish Munro and Steve Sinkovic, a long time. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your effort being here with us once again for the Warner Brown Tools V8 Supercars series for the Split 1 and Split 2 action for round 2 of season 2 at Winton Motor Raceway. We'll see you guys next week for round number 3. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hills.